Good evening. Good evening. I'm always blurry. Every time we come on, I'm always blurry. Can you hear me okay?
Yeah. I was a bit blurry as well.
Yeah.
I was. I have the blurry background thingy going on anyway.
Grand. Well, welcome to a Wednesday night Shadow Whispers in the night. We just thought it's Christmas and all the days are mixed up and whatnot, so why not make it a little bit more confusing? And you all think it's Saturday, but it's not really. It's Wednesday, isn't it? It's Wednesday.
Yeah. Louise
is AI. She's not really real. She's AI.
Hello. I should do those TikToks.
I know. Why am I blurry and jealous of my glasses? I don't know. So yes, Wednesday night, Shadow Whispers in the night. We have a fantastic team on with us. We bloody love them. We love their work. They are going to explain a wee bit more about themselves. I'm going to say a quick hello here now to Miss Chantel. We love you, Chantel. We love you. We are on the same time zone. Finally, we're on the same time zone. Naughty, one late. Yeah, I know. Delete this series listening. That girl almost got me knocked down one day by listening to her voicemail, laughing so much at it. Amy, hello, Amy. How are you? Glad you're here. And damn girl, I can't even say it. Is it glitchy? No.
Lulu.
Oh yeah, it's Louise's picture. Yeah, my picture should come in at some page. Or is this mine has a? Mine should kind of focus up a minute. It could be my lights. I bloody don't know. I do not know. Julianne, how are you? Thank you for being here. So Louise, how has your day been?
Yeah, grand. Just trying to get the Christmas stuff done. And I got caught by the neighbours, like hair up, looking wrecked, and out the front putting up handmade stuff. Yeah, garlands. Fair play to anyone who does that for a living, because it's tough work. Spent half the night. Yeah, I did the door garland.
Oh, lovely. This year was too easy for me. So something had to have happened. So my Christmas lights went kabushed last night. And no, I put lights back on them, but I had to take lights off something else, the back, which is normally lights, onto my tree, which I'm going to have to try and fix that because it's blinking too much. But yeah, so the scissors will be coming out and the first set will be cut off as per yearly tradition. So there you go. So we are going to bring in our fantastic. Now you all have to be lovely to Tanya. She is a podcast virgin. Look at her in the background. She's a podcast virgin. So all your questions go to Tanya.
Yes. Tanya. That's what you did with me. Sorry, Tanya.
So we're going to bring them in now. Good evening.
Hello, how are we?
Good.
Thanks for having us on again.
Thank you for being on. Tanya, thank you for being letting us, interview you in your very first interview.
No problem. Anytime.
Ever. So delighted you're here. Delighted. Can you tell everyone those who know you already and those who might not know you, could you tell them a little bit about yourselves?
So the group Cork Supernatural Society, it started with myself and my family in 2013. We had kind of experiences throughout the years, and I got really into exploring abandoned buildings. So from that, it kind of grew into the paranormal from that, I suppose, because I had an experience in a place called St. Kevin's Asylum, which is an old asylum in Cork. And from that, it grew into an out-and-out paranormal group. And it was just my family at the start, because my mother was very into it, my sister was very into it. So it was just the 3 or 4, and then we had 1 or 2 friends that joined. But it wasn't till maybe 2 or 3 years later that we kind of said, let's bring in other people, because you know how it is with paranormal groups. Some people, like my sister, fell out of it. She said there's not that much happening. So she said she thought it was going to be like the movies. So eventually we kind of grew into bringing other people in, and that's kind of, I suppose, where we really got going. So yeah, and from there, like we have gone, we've been very lucky with the team we have. We've had the majority of the same people since 2014, 2015. So yeah, we've been really lucky and really, really lucky.
It's a great team. Yeah, I love your team.
Yeah, and then obviously I met Tanya then on a public event that we did a public event at the city jail, and that's where I met Tanya, and a romance blossomed, and I got hooked. Yeah, but she came into the group before the romance blossomed, but Tanya came in then, so yeah, that's why I'll let Tanya mention herself.
That's brilliant. What about yourself, Tanya? What got you into the paranormal?
Just personal experiences growing up, and I was always curious, and I guess like I never wanted, like, I don't know, like I got into the C.S.S. for myself, you know, not to try to prove to other people, oh, they exist. I wanted to learn more for myself, because like growing up when I would see like shadow figures or something, like I remember one experience when I was about 15. I seen a young girl in my parents' house walking, like she was inside. I was home alone, but she'd walk from the stairway into the spare room, and it was like her hair was halfway up, like she was like solid, you know. And I like ever since, it's just a curiosity.
Yeah.
So, but I am quick when we go to when we go to any location. I'm quick to try to debunk, because, you know, but I don't know. I just have that kind of. I just want to know more. You know.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
You know, I was going to ask that actually about, like, you know, the team itself. Like, you know, what areas, like, what's your aim as a team? You know, the way, like, there can be. To me, there's one side, there's another side, and then there's a middle side. If you get me, like, so. What kind of areas do you want to delve into, like, for yourselves as well? You know.
Yeah. Initially, I think when we set up as a team, I'd had an experience. Kind of my main thing was in a place called Nanonagels. It's an old convent near me. It's opened up to the public since, but at the time it was still in use. There was still a couple of nuns living there.
Really?
You could walk into the cemetery, and me and my sister were there. Middle of the day, summer's day, and I looked up, and we could see like a mist, or it looked like a part of the building was on fire. So we went over to have a closer look, and when we got over, this kind of mist inside the window started to develop into like a human shape.
Wow.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and it happened. It wasn't quick. It wasn't like it was like over 2 or 3 minutes. And by the end, you could see the full outline. It was the pure, like what you see as a ghost, like a white pure outline like that. And then there was another older couple. They were in the cemetery walking their dog, and they saw it as well. So the 4 of us all saw it, and then it kind of just disappeared.
Holy crap!
It was very clear for about 30 seconds, and then just slowly faded out. And that kind of got me obsessed with the paranormal.
Totally.
Me and my sister used to go there every day for like about 5 years, and we never had another experience there. But I think initially, like, I was kind of thinking, did that really happen? So when we got into the paranormal, even though I knew it did, it was kind of like we were saying, like,
so you were kind of more experience based, I suppose, starting off.
Yeah.
Then now, like, as you are going throughout the years, you're more intrigued with getting like the recorders and things like that.
Yeah. So I would say, like, initially it was just I don't think we really had an aim. It was just go out and see what happened. And it just gradually, I suppose, like a lot of the time we have found we've been able to disprove, kind of particularly with like private houses. I would say we kind of nowadays we try to disprove rather than prove it, but every once in a while something happens that we can't, I suppose. You can't explain it.
You have some pretty good audio. You know, I love the audio. Is my thing. Your audio is fabulous. Yeah. I'm loving. There's one particular one that I will be playing later on. It's just kind of creme de la creme.
I think we do a lot of work with audio, because that's something I used to do where just if we were doing like an overnight or if we had a location that we could have access to, I would just leave audio there and cameras. Yeah, I'd leave it literally for 2 days. And it was a nightmare. I remember leaving it in Elizabeth's Fort, which is just down the road from me. Quite an active spot, but I left 3 audios there and a couple of motion cameras, and it was like 120 hours of audio. And
I was going to say, how much backlog have you got of audio to do?
Yeah, well, I'm still stuck on, like, I pick the more important ones. So, you know, like if a private house or whatever.
Yeah.
But I still have stuff from, finally, I'm into 2020. I'm kind of into the year that we're in, and we're just about to go into the next year. But,
do you mind me asking, like, do you, any of you like have, so like that, you're loving EVPs, like Jenny loves the recorder as well. I love doing, say, the esteemed method, and I love watching camera stuff and things like that. Do any of you have like certain fortes, you know, as in that you love to do in particular when you're doing your investigation?
I think like, audio definitely for me, just looking for EVPs. Audio probably be my thing, I suppose. I know Tanya would be Estes.
Yes, this definitely 100%. I love the Estes.
Yeah. And do you ever find?
Oh, sorry.
No, just a quick. This is May. Remember, you've met May down at the school.
Yes. Hello, how are you?
With Ryan O'Neill. Hey guys, did you get much in the school that night you were staying there?
Nothing.
Quiet.
No. I think May got.
I did go in feeling like a skeptic because I don't know.
Okay.
To me, that's only my own opinion. I thought it was a bit too orchestrated, and I don't know.
Did you? I'd love to do it.
It looked too good to be true.
Yeah.
Okay.
Is that the one where they had the things shut?
Yes, yeah. There was. I think there was 2 videos. To be fair, again, that's literally about 2 minutes away from me.
Is it?
And I've had a lot of people over the years that have had experiences in the school. Was the staff or former pupils, but I've been told that the video was kind of like a completion of everything that people had experienced, and they put it together. I think the school now claims that it is a genuine video, but that's what I was told. I don't know if that's true or not.
You know yourself, when you go to location, you can go there and it'll be flat.
Yeah.
You can go back again, and it could be just crazy. So I'm not going to judge it too much because I've only been there once. But that night for us, it was quiet.
And then I still have about 80 hours of audio to do, so
that too.
It might be brilliant.
And do you ever find, like, when you're doing the audio and you watch the wave pad and you know it's just flat line in the whole way, and you really want to skip it, but you don't, in case you get something that didn't show up in the wave pad, which should show up. And I have woken up many times on my table and my arms were like that, and it was like it was like rigor mortis that I had fallen asleep and my audio kept going, and I'm like, where did I end off? Do I have to start at the beginning again? So do you find, like, Louise loves the C.S.S method, and Tanya, you love the C.S.S method. I know when I do the C.S.S method, it gives Louise a lot more. Than
Matt, you seem to be very good at it as well.
Yeah, I kind of I pick out. Yeah, I think I can pick out. I don't know how to put it, but I seem to be able to pick out words because I know some people it just sounds like noise. I've got, like, there's been a few times there was a pub, the Poor Relations, which we'll get onto that audio. That's the Just Me EVP.
Yeah.
But when we were doing the Estes there, the responses that night were like crystal clear. And Avonmore Castle, like, really clear. So that was easy. Other times, like, the majority of the time, again, we get nothing, or I don't understand it, you know. But
that's it. Even when we go to locations, you can have a really active night, and then say the Milmet Museum of Drogheda, you know, that's our location, and it's fantastic. Some of the stuff we have in it is just fantastic. And then we could go one night and there's absolutely nothing. You don't feel anything. You don't get anything. I think at some points you're actually not making yourself hear things, but you will hear something, and you are trying to debunk it, of course, but then it's always debunked. Those nights are very, very quiet. Do you ever find when you take people in with you, say with the public, say you go to a location that is, you know, it's very active, When you take public in with you, does it stay as active or does it change a little bit?
We had a great night for a public event with the doors slamming inside the chapel in the convent.
Yeah.
And like, it couldn't happen any better because in a public night, that's what you want. You want them to have their experience.
Totally.
Like the creme.
Like a bishop inside the chapel, and like almost on command, like the doors were slamming, and you'd run out and look, and there was nothing there because there was a long aisle.
Yeah, because we said that, like, we kind of let them all go off in different directions to look.
Yeah. Just so they see we're not playing up, because we wouldn't do that.
Yeah, it was just too perfect. You know, it was just too perfect. So we let them go and explore to make sure that there was nobody hiding off.
Yeah.
But I'd say most of the time, again, I'd say the public, I'd say it's like any kind of like investigation. I'd say more times than not, it's quiet, but every once in a while you get lucky.
Yeah, that's it. I know we're out on Saturday night to our museum. There's a hair on my nose. Where was it? And you know, we had taken people in with us before, and it was very quiet. It was just very quiet. I think we were lethargic. We began to get tired because nothing was, you know, the energy wasn't there, and so on and so on. So we're back on Saturday night, so we're really looking forward to it.
Yeah.
I was going to look at this question down here. Oh no, that was from May. That was from May. Let me see. There was a question here now. What would be your strength in the team? Like, who's the communicator, the psychic, well, obviously yourself, you love EVPs. What strength would each of your team members have on your team?
I would say Tanya would be more spiritual, wouldn't you?
Yeah, there's been times where we've been to a location where they've been flat, we weren't really getting anything, but I'd get a feeling about a certain room, and I said, "Oh, let's do this room." A few times it's happened, and we'd go in there and we'd get an EVP, and it'd be the only EVP we get from the whole building, which shocks me myself. Like, I would be more spiritual, but I tend not to dwell on it too much. But if I do feel something, like, I'm like, nah, you know. I know we tend to stick to EVPs, video recordings, you know, we kind of want that, you know. But no, I do listen to my gut feelings if I'm feeling a bit off or something is drawing my attention.
Yeah, I think
Tanya's probably the only person that I've personally met. We've had a few mediums in over the years that there's never actually been a medium fully in with us, because we've always been quite skeptical of them, to be honest. I've never met a medium, like, to be honest, that I've thought is genuine. But Tanya's the only person I've met that has said on more than one occasion that she's felt something in a certain area and that we've got something in. So I'd be saying to myself, is that potluck, or is it something to it? Like,
the last time you have it.
Yeah.
Louise would be like that.
Yeah. Unless it's a Libran thing, huh?
Unless what? What
a Libran thing. I know, I'm messing.
I would be like the blind leading the blind in, you know.
Yeah.
I wouldn't. Oh, I get it. I think
you have a good. I really think everyone has, like, you know, the more you get involved in a team, I think there's certain little techniques everyone kind of, without knowing, starts to develop. And I think you're really good at communicating, Jenny, with the spirits. And even as well, sometimes you'd be like, I think we need to go upstairs now, or stuff like that. You'd kind of say that. I find, or leave the camcorder over there, or something like that. And we'll leave the camera there, and maybe something will happen. Do you know? I find
you feel something in a room, or names. I will get names to me, and it's some. I remember we were doing an investigation one night, and Louise was doing the C.S.S method. We were live, and we were standing in the Jim Gary room, and I said, and I always say, even if it sounds stupid, say it.
Yeah.
Say it.
That's
no matter what.
Like, sometimes you're going to think I'm crazy, but I'll just say it.
Hello, me too. I come out with, even Alan has laughed at names that I came out with. I think Petulia, we're waiting on a Petulia, but I know there's a Petulia there. I know there's a Petulia. I'm waiting for her name to come through. And I said the name Maureen. I said, I'm getting the name Maureen, and Louise couldn't hear me. Alan was there and a few other people were there. And I said, Maureen, no idea where, just Maureen is in my head and it just won't go away. And I looked at Alan and he looked at me and he had a face. And I'm like, do you know a Maureen? and he said, "Look at the cabinet you're standing beside." It was his uncle's Jim Gary's cabinet, but his second wife's name was Maureen.
Oh.
So and then you could hear me going, I have to say, "Told you so," but you never believe me. I told you so. I get names and nobody believes me. But those are little things that I would get feelings.
Yeah. I think we have quite a big group too now, so everybody has a different.
Yeah, everyone brings something to the table.
Yeah.
How many is in the group actually?
10.
Oh, well, yeah.
Fantastic.
Oh yeah.
That's brilliant.
And there's people, I suppose, like Paul would be really good with cameras and technology. Like I'm okay at it, once I'm told how to do it, I'm good at it. But
great with the history as well, the knowledge of the wherever we go, like boom, it's like a book.
Yeah. I usually have it written down, not to be fair, but I think my main thing is just patience. I'm very patient, so you can sit me in a room for hours. I'm probably just bored.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, especially with the museum, I sit in the kitchen, and there's times that I do not want to be in the kitchen. Like even on my own, I won't do it. I'm surprised I did it the last time on my own. And there's times where I could just sit there all night on my own and just kind of have a nap.
Yeah.
I get comfortable. It depends on the night. I'm looking forward to Saturday night because we're doing our Christmas one, and that's when we bring the whiskey and the milk and the pies and the wine, and and they love the candy canes. So it'll be our Christmas investigation.
Brilliant.
We're doing Santa as well, so that would be fun.
Yeah.
And something else. I don't know what else. I wanted to bring up some pictures, if that's okay.
Yep.
And explain a wee bit to us. I'm going to bring up the church one.
Yeah.
This one here. This balcony looks beautiful. Any activity in there?
So that would be the chapel in the convent. That would probably be one of the more active spots in the building. If you can actually see above the balcony, there's a window.
Yep.
And that window is where, if a nun was sick or dying, she'd be put in a wheelchair and she could watch the mass below from that window. And there was also kind of like cases of TB in in the convent at one point. So if someone was infected with it, they could watch the mass from there without actually having to go down.
So that's kind of like a sick room.
Yeah. So basically, behind that window, it's there's a dorm for nuns.
Oh God!
At one point, that would have been used as when TB spread in the convent. That would have been kind of where all the people infected were. And you could also watch the mass from that window.
That would be great. We're even going to try and get Aidan to come down with us. Aidan,
we cannot wait to have you down.
Yeah.
Huh?
We cannot wait to have you down.
We cannot wait. This would be like a child in the candy store for me. Put me in a place that nuns used to be in.
Yeah.
Just let me do my thing. Let me do my thing. And Aidan, he used to be on the team. Hopefully we're going to try and get him down with us at some stage. And he was going to train to be a priest. So he will pray in French, sometimes a little German, but he would know all the prayers off by hand. So we've got great, when we took him to Redwood Castle, he would pray in French and we get a great response because he could.
And he has an outfit.
Yeah, I saw that on the live.
You should bring that.
He has the outfit, so he would be a great little trigger object.
Yeah, we'll leave him in a room with like a load of stuff on him or something, loads of REM pods all around him.
I cannot wait then. I mean, and I was saying it to Louise, it's one of the locations I cannot wait to go into. And then you'll see me, I don't know how I'm going to be, because I know when we do shows sometimes I talk about religion and so on and paranormal, and that's what I do. That's my thing. I like talking about it. So they need to put me into a convent where nuns used to be. Oh, I have a lot to say.
You'll be disappointed anyway.
I have a lot to say.
Yeah.
And do you get any negativity from the nuns? Any negativity, any meanness, any?
Personally, no, I don't. I've got it's one of the few places that at times I have got a spooked feeling. Because it's one of those places, you could go to somewhere that's active, but it might be just EVPs or
Aye, yeah.
This is kind of a place where something, it might be really quiet, but something really spectacular may happen. So it's kind of a bit unusual that way, I suppose, that you kind of feel like something literally could appear in front of you.
Really?
Like, there is a dark history there, but like I wouldn't be saying that it's like I wouldn't be saying it's really negative, dark. I wouldn't go that far.
Okay, yeah.
You know? Yeah, well, the psyche, like people went through a lot when they were there. Like,
yeah.
Have you got, like, to what you know of, say, like multiple of spirits, or do you think it's the same?
Multiple.
Wow.
I reckon about 11, and that's for all different EVPs, different things.
That's amazing, yeah.
It is a large building. You have convent site, you have the school, the place used to be an orphanage as well. You also have the laundry.
Okay.
Yeah.
And
I'm so looking forward to it.
You have the back garden, and you have the nuns' graveyard as well at the back.
What's interesting about it as well, there was a woman on one of our public events, and her mother was actually she grew up in the orphanage.
Shut up.
Yeah.
Oh.
And her mother actually experienced a paranormal experience while in the convent. And we're talking, I think, 50, 60 years ago. So she saw a man in the gardens disappear into a wall. And now where the convent is, there was a house originally there. So we're wondering, is there some kind of lingering from that as well? Rather than just the convent. So yeah, there's a lot of history there. Yeah. But a lot of history there.
And you have your next investigation there is in February.
Yeah, we'll probably go back once more now in the meantime. Because we were just there on Friday, just gone. And it's such a big building, even though we've been going there for 2 years. There's like rooms we haven't got to. So we went to a few new rooms on Friday, and we actually got an EVP in one of them. So I suppose we'll go back there now.
Yeah.
It was good because the convent actually the last few weeks has been quite quiet. So it was good on Friday that we started to get stuff again. Because sometimes you wonder, like, you chase them out of their arms.
I know. I'm so excited to get down to it.
Yeah, it is.
I'll be nervous. I will be nervous. And I know I'll do what I do, but I will be nervous because it's a convent.
Yeah.
I'm not going to
well, we found this as well. Like it's like they get used to you. Like the more you start going back to this particular place, it's more like they become more like relaxed or something like that. And this, you start getting more voices coming through. Even the the spirit box sessions we find are a lot better. They're a lot more clearer.
Yeah.
Do you find that like yourselves?
Yeah, and we have found that too at the convent, a bit of a different one. It seems rare enough that males get responses. It seems to usually, if in terms of an EVP, it seems to always, not always, but a lot of the time be the females. And we've actually come across that before there's a place called Ballyvarney College, which was a priest college. So that was an all-male environment. And it was only the males that seemed to get responses there.
And the women would feel spooked.
Yeah.
And almost feel like, I need to get out. I don't want to be in here any longer.
Yeah, so the convent seems to be the other, and I suppose in some ways it does make sense. It was an all-female world.
Right.
So, that's something we've noticed.
The priest one as well. I'd love to go to the priest one.
Very good, very good.
I know, it's just it's just that thing that kind of goes together, religion and paranormal.
Yeah.
And we have so many people not believing in the paranormal but are very religious, and that's totally fine, because each to their own. Everyone thinks and works differently. I am the one who works differently. I like to know. There's a lot of questions I would have for I'm just that dog with a bone. Dog with a bone. I get myself into trouble sometimes. I'm like a dog with a bone. I do. I really do.
No, we'd never. Talk about.
Don't let anything go. I don't let anything go. I mean, that's most likely I do get myself into trouble, but it's worth it. It's worth it if I get answers or something like that, or something.
I've always wondered, like, are they, when you're communicating with spirits, say through EVP or spirit box, are there some questions they're not allowed to respond to? I've always wondered about that. Do you know?
Well, I have a few. We have a few questions in a few minutes. Sorry.
And tell
I was like, Jenny, we'll write them down. A few questions.
Louise was on the ball. Louise was on the ball, and normally I'm on the ball, but Louise, you got this one tonight. Thank you so much. There's another picture here I want to bring up.
Oh yeah.
It's the thermal.
Yeah.
Which I love. Where is this? I'm looking at this.
So this one is, do you know the last picture that you saw?
Yes, the church. Yeah.
Yeah. This is the thermal picture. They were took a couple of seconds apart. So this thermal photo is actually the first photo. And as you can see, there seems to be like a figure up there.
Is this a balcony?
On the balcony.
Yeah.
Oh
yeah. And I noticed that we were on site and I took the photo and I could see it on the thermal. And then I took about 10 more photos on the thermal and nothing was there.
Yeah.
And then I took a few more with the camera, which is the photo you just showed.
Aye.
And there was nothing up. There was nothing up there that could create that shape.
I'll bring that picture up again.
Yeah, so that's a few seconds afterwards.
Would have been up on the left-hand side of the balcony.
Yeah.
Right.
So no idea what that is. A few people have pointed out that if you look at the still image, that you can see a radiator below it, but that wouldn't have any interference up on the balcony, and you wouldn't have the shape of
I can see that radiator. Yeah,
but it wouldn't have any.
Yeah.
It wouldn't have any shape like a human form.
Sorry, Matthew. Is the form meant to be over? See that bag or something? Is it over kind of there? Is it?
No, it's up on the balcony on the very left hand side.
Sorry.
So up on the balcony on the left hand side, and
the radiators don't work. The radiators don't work. Electricity we shut off completely, so nothing interferes with any of our equipment.
Yeah, and we just don't know. Like, it looks like a human shape, you know.
It does. Yeah. You see the legs.
Yeah.
But even it looks like it's wearing like a priest's outfit. Do you know the shape of it?
Yes. Like he's going to say mass.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's it called? The habit? Not the habit. No. What?
That big gown.
Yeah, the gown. That's what. Look around it, the body, and then around the legs.
Yeah,
it's like an overall kind of dress, kind of almost type.
Yeah, right. Because you don't see, you can see the shape of the arms, but as if they're covered in a cloth.
Yeah.
Wow, that's quite cool, actually.
Yeah. So we weren't sure what about one. It's the only time we've ever kind of caught a figure or something like that on the thermal camera.
That's quite brilliant. Yeah,
I haven't got anything myself with that thermal camera.
Yeah.
It's
expensive.
Kind of, but not really. Yeah.
Yeah, Louise has a thermal camera. So we're going to use that. There is another picture here that I want to bring up. Get it right, Jennifer. This one here.
So that's just the thermal. That's took about a second and a half after the last one. And you can see there's nothing there now.
So it's before and after.
Yeah. This is the after. So there's nothing there. And again, like on the thermal camera.
And I'm just changing over that I'm looking at the temperatures.
Yeah. So.
On top.
Yeah. So.
And you can see it's 2310.
Yeah. And it literally took because I saw it on site, so I literally took it maybe 3 seconds later max. And there's no.
Interesting.
Yeah, so we did find that very interesting because there was there'd be no one up there. You couldn't actually get onto the balcony at the time.
Yeah, that's quite interesting.
We were fascinated by that one.
I like that.
Yeah.
I want to go tomorrow. Tomorrow. I would go tomorrow. I would.
Mm-hmm.
I would love to go tomorrow. But
I'm free. I'm free. Let's go.
Now the pub.
Yeah.
What's the name of it? The Poor
Relations.
Poor Relations.
Yeah.
Tell us a wee bit about that one.
So, how that came about? Tanya works as a bouncer. So she was able to get us kind of all the heritage pubs in Cork, and it's kind of a chain of heritage pubs. One guy owns 12 or 15 pubs. Yeah, and they're all old buildings, or they're all heritage.
He tries to keep them as traditional as the way they used to be. He doesn't change much about it.
And we were just kind of literally, some of them have ghost stories, some of them don't, but we just literally went through the list. And the Poor Relations, the manager there, I actually knew from years before Eric, and it turned out he was the manager there, which I didn't know. And he'd had a few experiences. They had something, I remember CCTV, was it a glass going flying, pint glass?
Really?
Yeah, and then there was a hand sanitizer being flung across the bar.
Yeah. And that was caught under CCTV. They haven't released that. They haven't released that. But he'd had a few experiences himself too, and he found the bar itself, I don't think he felt too bad in, but there was an office on the top floor, which is where he would do the cash up at the end of the night, and put the cash into the safe and all that. And that's where he would, I suppose, spend time alone. And he felt a certain vibe up in this area. So it was in that room then that we got the really good EVP.
That's where you got that EVP.
Yeah, they're just me in that office.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, so
I'm going to
Capricorn that time as well.
Yeah, we had a lot there.
And we were in the room as well, and we were doing live EVP. And I can hear something in my ear, and I was like, don't say nothing, I think you're crazy. It's just myself, Matt, and Eric, who's the manager. And I was like, lads, I'm hearing voices. They're like, no, play back to the live EVP. You can hear me saying that, and you can hear the voice. It was clear as day. It was like it was in my ear, but Matt was holding the recorder. It's crazy.
Yeah.
But that's one of my favorite bars. I would think it's more haunted than the Oval, which Oval has the reputation of being the most haunted pub in Cork.
Okay, the Oval.
Same owner.
Yeah, and it's funny because the Poor Relations, if you were to see it, it doesn't look like a particularly old building, and there's nothing spooky about it. Like the office is literally a tiny, and with the toilet, it looks modern. So there's nothing at all spooky about it, but it's probably one of the most active places
definitely
that we've ever been.
I can.
We got a name as well, Michael.
Yeah, we got the name Michael.
You got the name Michael inside it.
Yeah, we were doing the C.S.S, and that's when we got the name Michael, and it came through 3 or 4 times.
Okay, I'm going to see if I can bring it up.
Is this in the city? The pubs?
Yeah. Right in the city.
Wow.
So
your man owns around 12. Jesus.
Yeah, if not more.
Yeah.
I'm just taking a few pictures here because the laundry room. I want to save these and I can bring them up.
Yeah, no problem. But I suppose it was fascinating to do the pubs because I suppose they're buildings we pass every day in the city.
Yeah.
And you might not I didn't know that much about them. But some of them have a fascinating history, you know.
I was just going to say, but the guy shot inside that bar.
Yeah, that's what we found about the Poor Relations, that a guy had been shot there. And it used to be an IRA meeting spot.
Okay.
So a man was killed there, but we don't know the name of the guy. I don't think it's anything to do with Michael. But that was
his name, Michael. Yeah.
No, it wasn't. So So it was fascinating learning about that because I thought I would have just looking at the Poor Relations thought it was a relatively modern building. So it was fascinating.
It was a case of, sure, we might as well try it.
Yeah, we just said
we've access to it, might as well do it.
Yeah.
So.
And it was
did you say, was that a pub for a good while now, the Poor Relations place?
Yeah, I think it has been probably. I actually can't remember.
A few years. I wouldn't know what it was before then, though.
I think it's been offices. It's been a lot. It's probably been a pub maybe 40 years. But the building itself has been there for a couple of years.
I'm going to share the screen because I want to play that audio.
Yeah.
Of the that I can't think about the EVP. Oh God, Jennifer. Right, let me see if I can get this in for you. Let me see. Let me know if it's going to play. Can you see it there?
No.
No one messaged Jenny.
Just see, you always be afraid what's opening up on your. Okay.
Yeah.
This right here now. Let me see if this is it. We don't want that. How can I get rid of that one? No, I can't. Okay. Right, I'm going to play this here. Let me know if you can hear it.
Nothing yet.
You can't hear anything, no?
No.
Okay.
Oh.
Have you got it? Okay.
I can see. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. I'll bring it back. Can you hear it?
Are there many of you in the building?
Yeah.
Okay, I'll bring it back to the very beginning.
Are there many of you in the building?
I love that one. I'm going to bring it back.
That sounds deadly.
I'll play that again.
Are there many of you in the building?
That's crazy.
Sounds Cork anyway.
Yeah, it was so. It was actually so clear. We were doing a live EVP, so we recorded for about a minute and then played it back. And it was so clear. It was me, Eric, and Trevor in the room, and
right,
Eric.
Just fantastic.
Both of their faces dropped, and it was so clear. I was kind of in my own world, thinking about what would I say for the next EVP session.
Really?
I didn't take notice. It was so clear. I thought it was one of them. And then they said, "No, Jesus, play it back." And then we knew from the camera footage as well that no one had spoken. It's just a direct response as well to what we'd asked.
Did you get that? Did you listen back to that on the same night, or was it?
Yes,
You
on
did.
The same night? Yeah.
You obviously
literally a few seconds later.
That's fantastic. And you obviously followed up with more questions.
Yeah.
Who is just me?
Yeah.
And
it went, and funny enough, like that clear, it went quiet then. We didn't get anything on the rest of the call outs.
Really?
But the next time we were there is when we were doing the Estes. When we were doing the Estes, we were asking who was the person, and we got the name Michael came through 3 or 4 times on the Estes and the return trip. So
could it be Michael?
Yeah, that's what we assume. It seemed to be one person. I suppose he said it's just him in the building.
Right.
And when we did the Estes, it was just one male voice coming through. So we couldn't. Well, we were trying to get a surname, and I'm pretty sure he did say a surname, but I couldn't make it out.
Really?
Yeah.
Is there any way of getting back into it, or is it completely closed?
There's actually, the pub is still open. The rest of the bar wasn't active. It was just this little office, this tiny office. It was literally that room. And someone's actually living up there currently.
Oh, I'm jealous.
Yeah. So, of all places,
I'm
like
horribly jealous. I'll play it one more time. Anyone who hasn't heard it, I'll play it one more time. Maybe it's just because I want to hear it myself again. And I'll play it again.
This is being recorded with all of them.
Are there many of you in the building?
You can hear something there as well. Did you hear a yes at the beginning of it?
I can hear something, but I'm not sure if it's static.
Are there many of you in the building?
I didn't know that before.
I'll bring it back one more time.
You can definitely hear something
halfway. Are there many of you in the building?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's like an EVP enthusiast wet dream, I swear to God.
It's definitely one of the best we've ever got. I think the clear, like the voice is so clear as well. It's not like it's someone whispering in the background. It's just so clear.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
And it's interesting because that's the office that Eric felt. So I had a few experiences. So it is interesting that.
I wonder if he lives there now.
It's one of the staff for the owner, a cook. So I'm listening now. If anyone moves out, I'm straight in there.
Yeah. Listen, are they single? Are they looking for a girlfriend? You know, I don't care.
I'll ask.
I can bring you, please, and I can bring us all in.
Come on, he's a great chef.
Yeah.
I'll take one for the team.
Yeah.
There's another picture here that I want to bring up. I hope I get this right, Jennifer. I'm not very, very tech. Let me see. This one here. Okay, I hope this is right. Is it shown? No, it's not shown. Of course, it's not. No, it's not shown. I'll bring it up. I'll bring it up as normal. I'll stop sharing this and I'll bring it up as normal. I want to listen to more EVPs. What you say? Oh well, now I feel like a right tit. The clip literally titled "Just Me" because Chantel.
I'm saying Chantel. I didn't see that.
And she got it right. Just sounds like just me drawing out. Go on, Chantel.
That's how you know it's a really good EVP. If other people are actually hearing the same thing, then
it was
proper.
funny because for Halloween, some Cork radio station was playing it.
Yeah.
And they were they were saying it could be like a slogan for, you know, what was it?
Just eat.
Just eat. Instead, and So it is incredible.
It's fantastic. I'm a sucker for EVPs. It's my thing. I mean, I would sit and talk. I would play every piece of audio for someone who just begs me, Jenny, I just want to go home, and I'll just say just one more after the 500 EVPs that I've played for them.
I think it's one of those ones too. I was glad we were doing it on site and we were playing it on a speaker. Because I think, you know, if you were listening to that on the headphones, I think you'd probably collapse.
Yeah.
How many times have myself and Louise have made each other 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning? Oh my God. Listen to this. When you wake up, listen to this. And there's probably about 6 messages from me, and I send them on to Louise because I just get into the audio. And I always promise the next one's brilliant, the next one's better, until you put to Jenny. Bleep, bleep, bleep. I'm going bleeping home, bleep off, Jenny. No more.
But it can be scary because like that, you're just listening and it's just the same or whatever. No, and next thing out of nowhere, a voice or a door bangs and you know there was no one around, everyone's asleep at the fucking far end of the room or something like that. Yeah. And you're just like, oh my God, what the hell? It really, because they kind of nearly make you go to sleep, especially when you're watching back on the videos.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh my God. I have to keep awake really hard.
It's funny, because I've always been very bad for sleep. I can stay can have bad insomnia.
I'm telling you, there has to be a paranormal sleep done with all these videos. Get everyone else to watch them and then they just fall asleep.
Yeah, and it does actually help. It does actually. There's something about it that chills me.
You're just sitting there going.
Listen, Louise would show me something last night we wear glasses and we have to wear glasses on top of our glasses because our glasses who are prescription are not bloody working anymore. And it was, what was it? It was like glasses on top of glasses.
I was in a home store more there yesterday and didn't I see these glasses that have like little torches above
I have them. She hasn't.
And they're like magnified by 160 and I was like Jenny, you can get them. I didn't get them for you. But
I'm blind. I need them.
Did you get them?
My brother got them as a joke for me.
Oh no!
Look, I'm blind today, so here you go.
Yeah.
There is another picture here now. This is from the laundry room. I didn't. Yeah. So I'm gonna give. So they're both different pictures, aren't they?
No, it's the same one, just one circle. But you can see what looks like the outline, the legs and the feet particularly clear.
this one up here. Oh
Yeah.
my gosh.
So when it gets from like in the chest area up, it's just
black. But that was took in the laundry of the convent.
Oh, I see it
Right.
now. Look, I can
Yeah.
see it. Yeah, you can see it up to the waist, an arm, and then the rest is black.
Yeah, and that was took. The laundry's kind of they're doing a lot of work in there and in the convent, restoring it. But at that time, the floor was really dangerous, so we couldn't actually get down to the bottom. So I just took a photo from a distance, and that type of shape or whatever it is in the photo. So it was intriguing. You know, it could maybe it's just the way. I don't know, maybe it's just we're seeing something pareidolia or something, but it does look like the outline of something.
That looks quite good. I like that.
Yeah, so it's very interesting.
They're great stuff. Moira, Moira, how are you? I love the cat. But you have great stuff. Would you say that audio, the Just Me, was one of your best ones, or you've got a collaboration of you can't pick out which one is more?
I would say the Just Me is probably, it's so clear, you know.
Yeah.
We got one at a place called Balnakrieger Castle years ago. It was actually one of our first ever investigations, and it sounds like a woman kind of almost wailing in the background, saying, I think it's saying, what about the child?
Yeah.
And that was really good. We've got other ones, I suppose, Ballyvarney, probably. We got loads there. There was one, that was a priest college, as I was saying. And you can hear someone in one of the audio clips, someone's praying. And in the background, you hear Hail the Father, and in a third voice saying, I am a priest. So that.
Oh, you say they were a priest?
Yeah, I'm a priest.
Wow.
So yeah.
That's what I love, and I know I said it before. That's with the paranormal and the religion. They do go hand in hand. And if a priest is coming back as a spirit is saying, I am a priest, or I was a priest, that just, you know, for a lot of people who don't believe in the paranormal but believe in religion, and that's each to their own. Like I keep saying, don't come for me. Well, that's up to themselves. It's my curiosity of why they would say that and not believe, and so on and so on. That's maybe just my own thing that I venture that I have to go and annoy people with about it.
Right.
Then Adam is saying here that picture, the photo from the scene, looks like the insidious red door. Let me bring that up. This one here. That's the one. Have I seen that movie? I can't remember if I've seen it or not. If not, I'll probably watch it tonight. I'll probably watch that one tonight. Now, Chantal is saying there is someone sitting on the right, my right, looking at the screen of the pillar on the step thing. You can also see the same short or sort of legs hanging, fading into the black body. So I'm going to leave that up. I'm going to bring the picture up again. Which picture is better, Chantal? This one or the other one? I'll go with this one here. There is someone sitting on the right, whole right, looking at the screen. So say right of the pillar on the step. Okay, right. Can all of you see that? You can also see the same sort of legs hanging, fading into the background.
I just see the figure, the legs, and the upper butt. Kind of, that's what I see. Legs, and then it kind of disappears as it goes further up.
Chantal, I think. Yeah, sorry. I think I can see this shape that Chantal's talking about. So you have the door, you have the right hand side, you have the two pillars there, and over to your right hand side of the pillars. I know that probably doesn't make sense. There's something there that looks like bricks or something like that, and it's probably pareidolia or something like that. It looks like something is small. You can see the range of the back, the thigh, the legs hanging over. It could be pareidolia. I have no idea what it is, but fading into the black body. If I'm saying that right, Chantal, I'm not sure. Yeah.
And that's a room. That's probably, you know, when you were asking us about the convent, was it dark, I suppose? But that's the only spot that some people have felt that like negative in the laundry area. No, I haven't personally. But some people have said that they feel a negative energy or just an intimidated feel to that area.
Okay. And this is in the convent?
Yeah, that would be the laundry of the convent where the children would have worked in there.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, so...
Would Andrews have stayed in any of the... Have separated into these rooms in the convent? Would it be safe to do that?
Yeah, definitely.
It would be safe.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say it's dark. I think there's just... people are angry. Spirits are angry.
Right.
Maybe. Yeah. I wouldn't say like dark as in, you'll be safe. You're not going to be attacked or anything like that. There's nothing like that.
You just get frightened out of you.
Yeah.
But like if you're sensitive enough, you'll feel almost emotion as well, do you know?
Yeah. It's, oh my gosh. You see, and how long have you been doing this convent? I'm so intrigued.
2 years, I'd say. Yeah, about 2 years. I think it was brilliant too because it's only been closed down since about 2012. And thankfully it was never really abandoned. So it's never, it's not been destroyed. It's all the original stuff is there.
And did they have the tabernacle, in the church, like the tabernacle or anything like that? Do they still have that in it?
Yeah, and they have pretty much everything's there. Everything original's there.
Hi, Lauren. How are you? Hello, Mr. Chris. I hope you're well. Hope you're okay. I know, and there's an old folks' home where I invest. Well, it was being knocked down. There's Aldi built on top of it now, so you should see me going down. It was an old folks' home, so you see me in the frozen aisle section at the fish. With a recorder. Calling out.
I think those buildings are kind of, in our experience, they definitely have been convents, asylums. They would be the main kind of spots, I suppose.
Well, they were breaking this down, this old folk home down. Oh my God, everything was as is inside it, and even in the church. But they had taken the tabernacle and the chalice and so on. They were sitting outside at the door ready to be thrown into the skip. No, they're not. They're upstairs in my bedroom. Yeah, I took them home. With me. Now, I want to bring them downstairs because they're too nice. It's too beautiful to be hidden in the and you can see the door where it's bent a little bit, where the workers would have bent the door open to get it out of the wall.
Yeah.
But it's beautiful, gold, shiny. There was a little bit of bread left in it. I have the chalice, and I have it in my house.
Is that for a rainy day, Jenny?
No one goes near it, but I want to bring it downstairs. It's too nice to be sitting up. And I tell you now, if that falls on your foot, your bones are not even broken. They are turned into chalk because it's like the weight of a safe. It is proper heavy. Oh my goodness. It's like the weight of a safe, if not heavier.
Yeah.
So heavy, it would just make dust out of your bones if it fell on your foot. You're kaput. I will.
I'd be afraid to bring anything home from anywhere, like any locations like that have history, dark history, particularly. No.
I just had to take this one home. I don't know why. I know someone else took rosary beads. I wanted the rosary beads.
Oh yeah, well, they were throwing it out, were they? Yeah.
Throwing it out. Oh yeah, it was sitting outside. I have lovely pictures of it, and they were sitting outside, and they. But I want to bring it down. The chalice is in. I think the chalice is in my kitchen. I need to bronze it up a wee bit. But it is in the kitchen, and inside is nice and gold. I've often wanted to put red wine into it and drink from it.
Just put water in. Oh, no.
No, girl, you gotta put the wine in the chalice.
No, you're not. It turns into wine. Oh no.
Oh,
it has to be red wine.
Yes, I can pour the red wine now, Louise. I get you now. A ton of water.
Yeah.
Touche. I'm gonna have to try that.
Let's just move on.
Me sitting there, with my chalice, drinking my wine from it.
Just need a little bell.
I really don't do it now, I swear to God, but you probably have too many people giving out to me saying Jenny's drinking wine from a chalice on her show. Well, it makes for the show, doesn't it? I might look for my chalice now with your big straw. Oh my God, when Chantal was over. And we didn't want to keep pouring the wine into the glasses. So I got these wine bottle straws.
Yeah.
You just put them in the bottle.
Oh.
Just sit there and you don't have to pour anything. Just a big straw.
Maybe washing up.
Well, completely, totally. And you probably just say, I just had like a glass of wine when you're just drinking from the straw, from the bottle. Yeah, imagine that. It's pulling water, there comes wine. No cheek plunk in the cup. No, it'll be like a Bordeaux or Merlot. We'll have that in. But I might now. I'm going to call my girls and say, "Look for my chalice, please." I might actually. Now let me say, still in a glass. Well, that's it, Chantal. It is still in a glass. Okay, let me see. I'm going through Louise's fabulous questions. Louise, you're on the ball, girl. Okay, well we know. Okay, so your favorite equipment.
I would just say a good night vision camera.
Right.
I think the body cameras have become very handy.
Very handy.
As you don't have to hold it.
Yeah,
I know. Love them.
I suppose audio. Any audio for me. I love audio. So yeah, they'd be my kind of 2 picks.
Maybe audio as well, but again, it's spirit box, being able to test this.
It's interesting. Like, I'm not sure. Like, a lot of the equipment, I think a lot of it is, you've seen it's been on Ghost Adventures, and I think a lot of it is set up to, like, there's a lot of bits like the cat balls. We've used them over the years and still use them, but they just seem to go off constantly.
I've seen Louise correct when you mentioned cat balls.
Yeah,
we wouldn't really rely on cat balls as evidence.
No, and even like there's a bit. I like it's interesting because I've heard a lot of people criticize K2s and all that, which I can understand. Yeah. But we had 2 interesting experiences years ago, at the same around the same time. One was in Elizabeth's Fort, and one was in St. Kevin's Asylum. Both times we found a letter. In the asylum, it was a patient's letter talking about how much she missed being home and all the medication she was on. And Jackie started reading it out, and the K2s just went crazy.
Oh, you see?
And we never got K2 hits in there before or after, so it just seemed a weird coincidence.
Right.
And it stopped once she stopped reading the letter. We put it away, and it just didn't go off ever again in there. And same at the fort, we found a letter with a fine on it, and there was like an old Irish pound note. And when Jackie moved, it was Jackie again. When she moved it, K2 went crazy for a few seconds, and when she put it back again, it stopped. So I found that fascinating. I did find that fascinating.
Wow,
I think if you have things to kind of. So like that with the cat balls, you could have ones that go, the batteries could be going, or like that with the EMF detectors, it could be depending on the area. So it is kind of good to just check it out. I suppose it doesn't help if you're doing lives, just be aware. Yeah, like you've noticed the Wi-Fi does set them off, and I think
does it?
Yeah, Wi-Fi can set off, and it can hit off the walls as well, depending on the areas as well where you are. But like if you were doing it, just say we had our phones, but we weren't doing a live or whatever, you could just put it on flight mode.
Yeah. We always do.
The area before you start, and even have 2 of them, and at least then you can kind of concur. And the same with the balls. We've done that with the balls. We like, if there's one going to go off, I want you to do off the other one as well, because it could be the battery, it could be the angle that it's at. Unfortunately, these balls falling off chairs and things like that, you can't really. It's interesting, and it can kind of get you going for the night, like going, oh look, the ball fell off the chair, but it is a ball. It's a spirit. It's shaped to move. So you need a few kind of things to back yourself up to kind of go, okay, well that's interesting. 2 or 3 balls.
Camera and audio. If you particularly like if you get a really good EVP, and you're the only one with access to it, so it's not faked.
That's Louise always, when she does her video, she always has the 2 videos into one, where you can see the room and you can see there's nobody there, and you can but you can hear and you can see the other video where the audio would be, so you can see the full scape of the room, but no one's in the room, but there's activity going on inside that room.
I remember just a fascinating one years ago again was Elizabeth's Fort in the city. And it was quite when we just started, really. So we didn't have as much equipment, but we left audio and cameras there. And there was no one there. We weren't doing an investigation. We were just allowed leave audio and cameras in the building.
Mm-hmm.
And at about sometime in the early hours, maybe 5 a.m, on the audio, just for about a minute, it sounds like the building comes alive. You can hear voices and footsteps and doors slamming and closing. And I left the motion camera on the entrance door. The only time that went off was the 9 o'clock in the morning when the guy came in to open it. So that was very interesting. Just the building came alive for like a minute in the middle of the night.
Right.
There was no one in there, so I don't know. That was very interesting.
Yeah.
And even with in a location myself and Louise had done, and we slept up on the stage, and we were sleeping, we were fast asleep and whatnot, but like yours, the room became alive, but the noise was enough to wake us up, but we didn't hear any noise. And again, the camera is facing up to us. There's a camera facing down. Louise is very good about camera angles. There's one, she covers the whole scope of the room. So the camera's looking at us, the camera's looking down at the main door, and there's audio going on. So you can see myself, Louise and Niall up on the stage on our airbed sleeping, and there's noises, there's things being dragged, like a brush fell over. And this would have been in the Athenaeum Museum in Enniscorthy. And it was just like everything came alive. And then we heard a door slam, and you can see the sleepy, dozy head of me waking up, and you can see me moving, did someone just come in? Did somebody just come in? And then, because we heard nothing, but it was loud enough that it would have woken us up, but we didn't hear it. But
it's great. I'd love to have like extra money that you could just buy like a load of cameras. It'd be just fantastic. But it's just for me as well. When you're doing the audio, there's nothing more annoying when you hear a sound and then you're going, wait a minute, where were we at that exact time? So at least, even sometimes, Jenny, you doing your lives as well is handy for me, because I can correlate the times and go, right, we were all at this end of the building that time. Like when, say, we got the woman singing in Redwood, we were all up at the very top of the building that night. So I know for a fact the body cam, and I can hear everyone leave from the stairs to go and close the door. So it's great. It's great if you can afford to get a few cameras and things like that. It just correlates then with the sounds that you're hearing and what you're seeing and things like that. And that feeds my soul for the whole experience.
Jesus, I care about it forever. When I do my lives, and then Louise can correspond it together. So it kind of, we working as you all do, work together, and it just collaborates. And I think sometimes when I do live, some people are like, I don't want to be in a live, and I don't want to do live, and I'm like, that's what we do. We do live. We don't do them all the time. We really don't, but we do them in locations that we love and that we know. And we get a bit of fun out of it, and we love when people can hear and see stuff or help us through it as well. And they love the locations. We will be live on Saturday night. We will be wearing Christmas decorations on us. Louise, you're getting all the hats. So we are dressing up for Christmas.
Yeah, the hats. Yeah, I did. Yeah.
Did you get the hats?
I did.
Really?
I did so. Yeah.
All of the hats.
I got hats. Yeah.
Jesus, we'll be wearing hats on Saturday night.
I don't know how I'm on the ball, but anyway.
Deadly, brilliant. So
well,
one
of the questions I was going to ask, right, is, it's kind of like what you were saying there, Tanya, there like a little while ago, was like, do you believe that most of your experiences and captures are human spirits?
I do believe yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And just that, like, the way they say, of course, paranormal, it can be very diverse. Like, would you have any interest into, like, let's say extraterrestrial, ETs, interdimensional beings, but into the folklore, like, creatures, any of that?
I'm open. If someone's interested in it, I'm open to know what their opinion is on it. Me personally, it's more spiritual with me.
Yes.
Yeah, I wouldn't, like, I would be, I suppose I would be, I've never thought about aliens so much, but we've often been to places, I suppose, ring forts and
fairies,
stories of, and it's funny, it is interesting, we're from the city, our group is kind of spread out, so there's a couple of guys in Tipperary, a couple in West Cork, and the people, the two people that we have in West Cork, so that would be a rural area, a farming area. They won't go into a fairy foot or ring foot. They really won't. Like Barry, he's convinced. He went into one years ago, and I think he got some type of injury, and he's convinced that it's, like when I hear him talking about it, I just can't take it seriously. But I suppose there is people that really do believe in it. And
say that, no, I would mess with a fairy fort or a ring fort.
Yeah, I wouldn't either. I suppose I wouldn't be disrespectful or anything.
Yeah.
But
what you're supposed to do first is to ask permission to go in first. I know May, she's been to Pat Noon's farm in County Galway, and there is two kind of like fairy portals, if I'm saying it right, and yourself will know which one to go into.
Yeah, I was actually talking to him today.
Huh?
I was talking to that Pat Noon guy today about going to.
Did you? Did you really? So there you go, guys. There you go.
It is interesting though. Like I suppose, me and Tanya went to Iceland. I
was going to ask you about that.
Yeah, and we went to Reykjavik. We were staying in a seaside kind of town village, I suppose, outside Reykjavik called. I can't even remember how to pronounce it. Havanage, or something. And they have the same traditions, like how we have fairy fots. We went to this park, which is actually
an old Viking village. That's where we were staying.
Yeah, but they have what they would call elves, but it's basically the same thing. Yeah. It's the same beliefs as the fairies. I suppose it could just be like, if you listen, like I think when I first heard about fairy fots, I was thinking like Tinkerbell and stuff like that. But a lot of it actually, when you read the reports, it's more like paranormal than actually fairies. Wow. So is it just the type? Was that the way they just described them in the olden days? And is it just, I suppose, again, ring forts are very historic sites. They were actually historic places. They're not just a made-up thing.
There's a lot of Irish that
and you'd have
went over.
Yeah.
Over to Iceland with the Vikings. They were brought over, a lot of the Irish women. So that's where they could have got a lot of their, folklore from as well.
Yeah, and I think like a lot of countries, like Egypt, have their own. They all have a slightly different name of it, but when you read about it, it's all kind of a similar thing, I suppose.
Yeah.
So it is interesting.
Makes it intriguing though to think like this is all passed through so many different centuries. Like, does it have a basis to something?
Yeah.
May Hernan, she's the creator and founder of Secret Ireland Tours, and so Dave Schrader is one of our ambassadors, and now he's taken a tour up in Iceland. In I think it's 25 May, if you're still here, 25 or 26, I think it's 25, but don't quote me on that. But anyway, so Dave will be doing a tour. It's not through Secret Ireland Tours, but May has arranged it for them to do a tour over in I think it's a 9-day tour over in Iceland. So I was going to say, because I know May was going to do it, and she has a lot going on, so she won't be doing that Iceland tour. But between myself and May, we had no idea what locations to pick in Iceland. Like, where would you go in Iceland? What would you pick? And I forgot that you guys were there, so you would have been perfect to have gotten locations and names off it,
Yeah.
But I was working with someone else over there in Iceland, so he's a tour guide in Iceland, so he's gonna get the whole tour up and running and whatnot. But
and what's amazing, that place we went in Iceland, Havanage, I think so you pronounce it. We went to this park. There's like a cave there, but it would be kind of, this is where they say elves live. It would be like their fairy fort.
Ironbirds.
Yeah, and we went to this place, and a guy actually contacted the page a few weeks later. And he was originally from Cork, and he was living in Havanage, which has a population of a couple of hundred in Iceland. And he'd had an experience in a location we'd been to in Cork before he left. And he'd actually lived in a house that we'd investigated in Cork.
No way.
Yeah. And when he left from that house, he went to Iceland and he married over there. And he's been over there. He was a guy in his 60s or 70s. He's been over in Iceland for 30, 40 years.
Wow. And you were in the same town as where he
Same
lives?
town. And the house we'd investigated before we went in Cork, he'd lived in. So, yeah, it's just a pure small world thing, I suppose.
That's freaky.
It is, yeah. It was freaky.
It is freaky. We're going to definitely call it freaky. And have you kept in contact?
Yeah.
So if you go back over to Iceland, then you have a place to stay and you can bring it around to other locations. And then we're all over with his.
Yeah, it was just amazing because he was, I saw he was making it up, to be honest. I thought, what are the chances of more the house in Cork that we'd investigated?
All the places in all the world.
And to go to this village in Iceland, it just seemed too much. But he was able to send on, like, we couldn't find anything about this house. We'd just gone there on the whim because it's an old historic house in the area in Cork. And he sent on a load of information and names of people and his family. And we were able to, he was actually telling the truth.
You were meant to have met.
Yeah, it is crazy. It really is crazy. And
can you still do his old house?
So it's an abandoned place. You can kind of every now and then, I suppose, if someone pulls away.
And you were only in Iceland last year, so whatever he told you about the house, maybe the house was wanting him. Now, just going to say in Jenny's brain of thinking, it doesn't sound too stupid, Jenny. Say it if you think it. Say it, but not everything comes out of my mouth is wise. But that the two of you were meant to meet, that you could go back to the house, that whatever experiences he had in the house. That the house was kind of, does it make sense now? I'm watching too many movies. That the house was making you meet, so you can go back to the house and make that connection. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it was a creepy house, so we had whistling and everything. That
was a creepy place.
Yeah, that's quite cool. That's quite cool.
I'm just thinking there as well. Sorry, Tanya. You were saying something that actually, which was part of that, was like you wonder whether they can say stuff or not say stuff. Actually.
Yeah, because I find a lot of times when you ask questions, you like. I don't know. I feel sometimes like they're not allowed to say certain things. I always got that feeling like when you go listen back to like not just our EVPs but other people's. It's kind of in around the same responses. Nothing too much, do you know?
Yeah, it is. Yeah, because I suppose that's one thing we found. Like when we've got great EVPs.
Yeah.
Like one thing I've often asked in the convent. When we've just got something is, are you still religious? Is this your version of, is this heaven to you? Are you stuck here because of something you did? And it just always seems to kill the atmosphere and everything stops.
Like if you believe in heaven and you're like a nun, why are you here and not in heaven? Or is heaven and hell on earth? What do you know?
Yeah.
Questions that
it just seems to kill it completely.
I remember, Jenny, you asked me one time, and I was in the estate, and like that, I you can't hear or whatever. And I remember they were saying something about, there's a time difference or whatever. And you were trying to grasp, like, what are they on about here? At first, but she wasn't asking, like, about, you were just like, oh, yeah, you're dead, because a lot of the time they go, I'm dead or I died,
Yeah.
And then the only thing they really said is like they're between here and Earth or something like that. And it's different time zones or time thing. I was like, when you're watching back on this, because clearly you don't know what the hell you're saying. And it just always, just when you mentioned that, I was like, oh, yeah, I've been thinking that too. It's just curious.
We have got that before when we've done. It was on the Estes. It was poor relations again. That Michael, and that night we were getting Michael on the Estes. It came through on the spirit box very clearly, because I had the light on in the spirit box. There's a little light at the top of it.
Yeah.
And the guys had the torches outside, and it came through. The lights are too powerful.
Yeah, I don't like the lights.
Yeah, I don't like the lights. And so I don't know.
Yeah,
what that's about, but that was interesting. So we always try and do it in complete darkness now.
Right. Yeah. And it is, like your senses are so much better in the dark, which we know this. You can investigate daytime and nighttime. Daytime, you're looking, you still can investigate, but you're not concentrating as much as you would.
For the night.
Yeah, I think like to be it's funny, like as I was saying, I used to do exploring, which I still do, of abandoned places.
Yeah.
And there was one building, St. Kevin's, the asylum here. I never really experienced anything at night there. We did get stuff on the audio, but like in terms of actually hearing something on the time, I never experienced anything in St. Kevin's at night. But the 3 or 4 experiences I had were always during the day in St. Kevin's. And it makes you wonder, like, are they reliving or what? But because obviously most places would be more active during the day. So
that's it. And what was St. Kevin's was an asylum, was it?
Asylum, yeah.
Do you think that, excuse me, this is going to sound silly, but do you think, like, there was a strict nighttime bed routine that no one should wake and so on, and they'd be in trouble if they spoke?
Yeah.
Nighttime, that it could be something maybe like that in the daytime. I
suppose they probably would have been even more medicated at night to help them sleep.
Totally.
We've had that as well, like in Millmount, like sometimes there can be a bit of a divide as well. I don't know if you have had that, where, sometimes they're afraid to speak, even on the Ested or like that, even EVPs. And then you're like, there's one guy I find in, say, I'll just say Millmount as well. And, I try and get him away if I can. And then the others to come in and talk. But have you had that too, where sometimes you feel like, and then you'd hear, sorry, jumping across as well, but you'd hear other people, just when you're saying day and night, other workers that work in these places, and they say, oh, I wouldn't want to be here at night. There's a different feel to the place, And when they're there in day, they might get some paranormal stuff, but when they're there at night, it's something else, Again, is it because it's dark? I don't know.
Yeah, I do. I think that does play a part, I suppose, particularly for people that aren't experienced. Like, we've often brought people, particularly when we were like starting as a group. We used to try out people. We'd just bring them with us wherever we were going. And places like St. Kevin's, I think it just became overwhelming for some people when you went in there. And St. Kevin's was abandoned, so every window had metal on it, So even during the day, it was pretty dark, but at night, there's literally no natural light getting in there. And you could see they were spooked by, like, if a raindrop hit the floor, that was it for them, they were terrified. So I think that does add to it, like, nighttime, like, it does. I think you could argue that
gives an airy vibe.
It gives an airy vibe, and I suppose if you're not experienced in it, like, you will get spooked out. And so in some ways, like, day may be better in some ways to do investigations, because you take that, like, element out of it. But I'd a night as well, I suppose. You get used to it, don't you? You do get used to it.
Yeah, you do.
I swear, pitch black, no lights.
Yeah, me too. That you're just kind of like, you're zoning out and you're kind of getting into it. And say if I move my foot, or Louise move, her lead or whatever, or something like that, we always tag it. You have to tag it, by God. I just want to say very quickly, Adam was saying Kevin's during the day was eerie, let alone at nighttime.
Yeah.
So,
very eerie.
Hi, Iron Fire Horse. Hope you are well. Thank you for being here. There was a question there that I was going to say. Oh, feck, it will come back to me.
Do you mind me just saying, do you feel like, same for yourself as well, Jenny, do you find, like, doing this paranormal, like, it's really making me question what is the afterlife, if you know what I mean? Like, we are getting these EVPs, we're getting doors shut, and sometimes we're getting all this unusual stuff. But if anything, it's making me more, it kind of makes me comfortable to think there is something else. But it's like, but what is it? Because like that, we're not getting clear answers.
Yeah. Like, I suppose, I remember for us, one of the EVPs we got years ago was in a place called Castle Lyons. It's just an old church in the village. The village is called Castle Lyons. And we were just asking questions, and in the background, it's just totally random. It's not in response to what I was asking. You can hear someone whisper, "I'm dead." So it was like whoever it was aware. And then other cases, like Ballyvorney, got the back to there. Someone praying and then hearing someone saying, "I'm a priest." So like,
did you play that video before?
I think I did for you. Yeah, I think the last time I was on with you, we played it.
Yeah.
But that.
Do you have that to hand?
Huh?
You don't have that to hand, do you?
It would be on the Facebook page, right? But it would be quite a way back. That was way back in like 2014 or something. But that was a fascinating one. And Ballyvonny was very interesting. That was, I remember being in there the first night we were in there, and we thought it was really quiet. And we went home and we had like ridiculous EVPs. And one of them, Paul, was with us. Paul would probably be our most skeptical member. And we were in this little room, and he just seemed agitated. And he told us afterwards that he was feeling spooked. And in the background, there's a really clear EVP. When you can see Paul getting agitated. But what's interesting about it is in that room, there's the Stations of the Cross on the wall. And I asked Jackie, what's that behind you? And she says, oh, she turns on the light and says, it's just the Stations of the Cross. And about a minute or so later, which is the EVP, it's someone saying, they cannot see the naked crosses. So I don't know, is that a reference to that? Or Kim, one of our members from West Cork, she said what she would see, she used to refer to a cross. A naked cross would be without Jesus on it, just a cross.
Right, okay.
So was there a cross in the room we couldn't see, or was there one there originally? But that was interesting, because who were they speaking to? They were saying they can see the naked crosses. So were they speaking to someone else that we couldn't see? But Ballyvonny was probably, in terms of evidence, I'd say that was probably the best site we were ever at.
Yeah.
It was the only place we went every time we got something.
That's one of my top 3 have been spooked.
Yeah. That was very spooky.
Yeah.
I have now decided where I'm holidaying next year.
Come down to Munster.
I have never been to Cork. I've always wanted to go. I've always wanted
Kerry.
Huh?
You haven't been to Kerry, have you?
No.
I'll have to bring it. See, my bunch are all Kerry, so.
Yeah.
And you like the coloured houses in Cove?
Huh?
You like the coloured houses in Cove?
I do. You remember I said that? You remember
What's
I
it,
said
deck
that?
or something? Deck cards or something? Is that what they call it?
Yeah, that's what's the nickname.
And I've always, and I have to say, because I know I was down in Waterford on holidays many years ago, and I took my daughters with me and my dogs with me, and I wanted to go down to Photo Wildlife Park because all I wanted to do was feed the giraffes. I just have an obsession with giraffes. So when I'm going down to Cork, and I'm definitely going to Cork on my holidays next year, because I like to holiday in Ireland. I do, because I like to take my dogs with me. And sorry, children, I take you too. Haven't forgotten about it. I've got 5 dogs, and but I want to go to Photo Wildlife Park, and I'm going to every location you're talking about.
Yeah, like even Photo Wildlife Park, there's a lot around it.
I've heard
at the back of it, there's a castle.
Yeah, I've heard about
at the other side of it, there's a folly, and behind there's a house there as well for the house. And they all have kind of ghost stories and history connected to them. So,
I'm going to Cork for my holidays.
Yeah.
Do you think there's any difference? Just curiosity. I love to ask other teams. Like, do you find a prison is better for you, or an asylum, or like that the convent, or
if I was just picking a random place, say if we were to go abroad, I'd always look for an asylum.
Yeah, I love asylums.
Oh my God.
Or hospital.
Yeah, I suppose
in
any type of place that had negative seems to be more active for us. I do wonder that as well. Like, we have got stuff in castles, but it's been like we've done
Soviet hospital.
Yeah, we've done dozens of castles.
Yeah.
We haven't actually got that much in them. And I just wonder, does the energy of whatever this paranormal is, does it burn out slightly? Because the most active places for us have been asylums, and some of them only closed 10 years ago.
Totally.
The convents only closed 10, 12 years.
Fantastic point.
So does the energy eventually fade away?
That's a really good point.
Yeah.
We were kind of wondering that. I remember saying that to you, Jenny, one time, saying that as well, Matthew, just kind of like, if they're left dormant for a while, do the spirits just go off? Do they forget who they are? And maybe that's why we're not getting proper responses as well. Because
some would say, like, if somewhere's quiet and if you investigate, it can stir.
Yeah.
Or if you kind of renovate, a place will make it active.
Right.
Get going.
Annoy them or disturb them and so on.
Yeah.
Have you been to that castle?
To where?
That castle?
Yeah, years ago. We must go back there.
We're back in March if you want to join us. We have 2
Yeah,
nights.
I'd love to. Yeah, I'd love to. Yeah, love to do that.
Great. We have 2 nights, the 28th and the 29th of March.
Yeah, definitely.
So either night, you can do both nights, or you can do one or other.
Yeah,
so
it's definitely you get an energy feel. Definitely.
Yeah, it is too. It's one of the few castles. I don't know, is it because of its reputation or not? But when you drive up to it, it looks like something from a horror movie, or it just looks spooky. There's something about it.
You cruising.
Many castles, but it is unique looking somehow. Maybe it's the ruins on the side of it. I don't know what it is, but it just looks creepy.
I remember driving into Leap Castle, and I was like, my breath was taken away, because I'm like, this is what I see on TV.
Yeah.
Oh my god. And then when I have a lot of friends in America, and I said, oh, I'm in Redwood Castle tonight, and oh, I'm in Leap Castle, and I'm Gillen Castle. I was like, oh my god, you're so jealous. And I'm like, oh, you say one, you see them all. You really bloody do. You see one castle, you see them all. And the only thing I'm afraid of castles is the feckin' steps.
Yeah.
But that's another theory again, as in towards the whole, the way, like, I remember laughing to you, Jenny, saying, as in, oh, sure, we're going to Leap Castle. I says, I guarantee we'll get something on the camera, because they're used to cameras. And she was laughing at me, and that was actually during the daytime as well. I got the door shutting on the camera. And I was laughing, going, oh my god, I actually had the camera, and it actually happened in front of the camera. Like, when did you get that? But again, that's a very active place. People are going in. So are they feeding, like, in a way, of all our energies, keeping it kind of up and running?
Yeah.
And then these other places that are dormant like that, they're kind of wakening up, and the more like that, if they get more familiar with it, are they feeding off us or something?
Yeah, and I personally
they need energy.
I think personally I prefer abandoned places. Places that have been.
I do like that too.
That haven't been done too much. Like there was a place me and Tanya went. We were over in Budapest.
My number one freakiest place.
Yeah, and we found it. It was like, again, something from a horror movie, but it was a old hospital. It became an asylum.
Come here, listen.
I love the hospital.
You wouldn't mind 2 stragglers going on holidays with you next week.
But it was took by the Soviet Union. They took over the hospital, and it became it was a crazy place. It became like a village as well. There was a 9-story tower block there for people. Where people lived.
3 9-story tower blocks.
Yeah.
A chapel, a smaller hospital, looked like a triage kind of area, and then a big main hospital and a few little outer buildings as well.
Yeah, and that's what we've only left the place twice since 2013 because of activity and just getting creeped out. But that was one of them.
Did you leave the place?
Yeah, we did.
Think of a zombie movie. Perfect location for it.
Yeah, but what happened? It was near. We'd gone there 2 or 3 times. We literally went on holiday and stayed in an asylum. We kept going back to an asylum every night.
As you do.
Yeah, but I could see Tanya was restless. She just looked uncomfortable.
Oh my god!
And I asked her, and
I go, "Can you tell me?"
Yeah, and we just Tanya said she wanted to step outside for a few minutes. And we stepped outside the door, and as we did, and we'd been around the building, we heard it was just the sound like from our movie. It sounded one of the doors being dragged open.
There's rubble on the floor, so the doors don't swing open.
Yeah,
you have to use force to open and close these room doors. I just felt so uncomfortable. I've like a code. It's like I don't want the spirit knowing that I'm afraid. So I go to can you tell me? So he'll go, what time is it? So you want to step outside?
Just
in case, you're right, Tanya. In case they don't know Irish, you see. So you
feet on square, you see. Oh well, I know that. But see, we were in Budapest, so they definitely don't know Irish.
Yeah.
What's that one? Can I go to the toilet in Irish?
I'm going to go good deal lehrers Moshe Dohole.
That's what I could never fucking say.
You could just say that to Jenny as a like.
Oh, we tell Americans that's how you say I love you.
Yeah, listen, this lady was teaching me Irish the other night, and I don't know if anyone knows Irish, and well, the amount of it. But she did teach me this, and I don't know how many people actually know Irish, but I'm gonna say it, and it'll be all right though. Fuck a lad. Does anybody know? Do you know what that is? I'm not going to say what it is in English. Fuck all lat. Fuck all lat. Yeah.
Well, that's never had that.
Oh, well, it's one to
Well,
keep.
a couple focal is a few words, isn't it?
Yeah.
What was it? Say it again, Louis.
Is lat good? No, well, mock, but
fuck all lat. Think of the first pronunciation. And
I already think I know what you're on about. So
yeah, fuck all lat. Fuck all lat.
I'm just going to guess in my head.
I said that about 10 times. So basically, I'm telling what I'm saying.
And do sign language down here to show them out what you're saying.
I can do signs. That's why I kept saying to Louise, we must be able to do signs like OMG or something like that. And I do a little bit of sign, but I do signs in my shows sometimes, and only some certain people know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
I taught them already. It's ISL, and I'm speaking to an American friends, and so I'm not even going to do the sign in case somebody knows what sign is. But we would ask out sometimes in Gaelic. You know, I remembered we were in Hellfire Club, myself and May and Secret Island Tours. We had taken them up to Hellfire Club, and I said, I bet you what. And we were calling out, and May was calling out in Gaelic. And I said, I bet you, I said, I bet you, I'm going to be told to F off. So May's calling out in Gaelic and whatnot. And lo and behold, when we listen back, I was obviously told to. Is that me or May to be told to F off? But how did you find, Matthew and Tanya, how did you find Hellfire Club your first time being there?
I found it. I remember I was there during the day once, and it's not often that I get any type of vibe, literally never really. But I remember going into a room at the very back on the top floor, and I just got a spooked feeling, and there was like a load of people in there, because it was the daytime and it was summer's day, people were in there. Yeah. But when we went back at night with you, I felt totally fine. I didn't feel anything, to be honest.
That was my first time there. I thought it was an amazing place. But that back room you're on about, I had that feeling. But when I first went in there first, the very top floor, the top of the stairs.
Yep.
Yeah.
There was something about that window right at the top of the stairs that I was like,
at the front, when you're walking up the
so when you get to the very top of the stairs, top floor,
the window,
and there's straight ahead, there's a window and like an area. I know something of that. I was telling you, like, put Katie there, put something there.
That was actually the entrance, wasn't it? That was the original entrance.
That used to be the entrance.
Yeah.
But yeah, I suppose again, like, I imagine if you stayed there long enough, you would get quite a bit.
The back room that nobody likes on the second floor, nobody likes that back room, and it's the only room that I could sit there on my own and just be like, whatever.
Yeah.
That's why I'm like, blind leading the blind. Do not follow me. If I go somewhere, follow someone else. Do not follow me, because God knows where I'm going to walk you into. Because I don't feel a lot, and I think I like to be. I'm going to say brazen, but with respect, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
I like to kind of say, we're not doing this today. I'm kind of like, I like that barrier that I have mentally is like, not today. Today's not the day. Not today. Nope, we're not doing it today. And that's what I carry with me sometimes.
Yeah. I think some places some days they have the energy, some days they don't. And like that we were all saying, some places you go to and it's like, and do you know what I found interesting? I remember there was one time we were doing an investigation and yous were doing an investigation as well. And I think yous had reported saying it was a very quiet night. And we were like, it was dead for us as well. So I don't know, is it just again, is it an environmental thing as well?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? As in, we're all feeling it when we're all out. And then there could have been another team as well that was out and they were like saying, dead, they got nothing. You might get maybe one or two EVPs or something like that, but it was generally dead.
That's I suppose if it was too consistent and same things happen all the time, you'd be kind of like,
right.
Yeah.
But like that now we go to a place, say 5 times. 3 times we might get something. 2 times we might get something. The rest, quiet.
Yeah.
I guess it's just the energy, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah. But you could see some nights, like as well, like again, we could all be out, and that night everyone's getting activity. Like yous could be getting something, and we're getting activity. I'm just wondering, is it sometimes like an environmental thing as well? Like if you, I know what I mean. That's setting it off, and it's just like a little trend. You start seeing, oh wait, there was a few paranormal teams, and they all seem to get something that night. But then the other time we were all out, everyone seemed to have quiet night. It's like
we're talking about anniversaries or.
I remember I used to do that like when you first started. I used to always write down like everything, like the weather, the moon, all that type of stuff.
Yeah. I have those.
I never got. To be honest, I never got like a. I never seemed to. It seemed to like one night it would be. I never got a pattern. That's
it. Yeah. I have a book here that I bought that would keep a diary of your investigations. What equipment you took with you, what equipment you take out, what equipment you're packing back up. Because Lord knows I probably left a piece of equipment in every fucking location.
I do that as well.
It's insane. Drives me mad, and I hate it. But I think we should start, like even myself and Jessica. Well, I'll do the writing, Louise, where you always set up, and I always make tea because I don't drink coffee, but I always make tea. So I should really do you do the database, and I kind of do the weather and the time and the temperature and so on and so on. And we know the temperature is going to get low.
Some people say like when there's an electric, lightning going on, that you get more activity. There's a storm,
Yeah, and I know sorry, go ahead, Tanya.
No, because the time of the storm, we were supposed to go Spike Island and there was a storm in Cove. We stayed in the Commodore. I was like, we go up to the convent, just two of us. And it was a storm. It was very flat that night for us.
Yeah.
Nothing.
Yeah.
Unusually quiet.
Yeah. It was really quiet. Like,
we usually get something, at least one thing.
Yeah. But I suppose too, when the weather's that bad, you kind of need something really clear. Like you need an EVP.
That's true too,
because like if you're hearing noises, like it could be anything.
Constant raindrops or how.
That's the thing. I remember doing a location down in Carlow prison, and it was torrential storm. The rain was. It was a huge shopping centre. It was a prison, and the rain was coming through the ceiling and whatnot, and the activity was just too fast for us. And then one of the team members got a phone call. She had to go home. Her husband wasn't well, so we had to go home. And I was like, he'll be grand. He'll be all right. He just fell down the stairs. He'll be okay. For feck's sake, we hadn't even set up. And I was like, but obviously, he's her husband, and of course we had to go home. But I wasn't too happy. I was not too happy. I probably would have left mine at the stairs, saying, "Get up off the floor for feck's sake. You'd be all right. You'd be grand." I'm in the middle of an investigation, and the storm was great, but the activity was so fast for us.
Yeah,
it was kind of go, 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 go. And I want to bring something up very quickly here. What Adam was saying earlier: any signal passing through an area can set off a K2. There is no way to know what signals are in the area, even if you're rural. I do agree with that. I do. I remember we were at the Paracon, and Steve Parsons was talking. And it was a great talk, and he was saying even with the K2s, you could be in the middle of a field and it will still go off. Paranormal activity.
Yeah.
And I do agree with that. I remember being in the courtyard of the museum, the Millmet Museum, Drogheda, because we don't always get the name wrong. As many years as we're doing it, it's
changing.
Yeah. Drogheda Museum, Millmet. Sorry, Alan, don't bust my hours. But the K2 went off out in the courtyard, and but then you have lights, you have lamps outside.
Yeah.
You've got a working building with electricity on the inside as well.
Again, though, I think if you can have other stuff as well, Jenny, that way, like to back yourself. So you were saying there was an EVP. I think.
I think, I suppose you can use it all, can't you? As like you might not believe it's paranormal, but if you can get something like an EVP to kind of back it up, it's interesting. I suppose it's like worth keeping a note of.
Yeah, definitely. If there's an EVP to back it up,
but like you are right. It is good to be for all teams to be aware of that with the EMFs and the balls, that have other stuff to try and back up stuff.
Yeah,
what you're doing.
I think a lot of it too would be like I suppose some of the equipment has come out just because of ghost shows, like REM pod stuff like that. They have been like for ghost shows. So you do wonder, like, how reliable can they really be? Like, that's why I prefer audio or camera, because, it's not actually meant to be for the paranormal.
Well, do you know what? Talking about REM pods, I will say they are a little bit of a go-to of mine.
Mm.
I'm very skeptical when it comes to a lot of equipment. I really, really, really am. My recorder is my baby. I love it. You know, that's my thing. My birthday and my big birthday next year, I want a big cake made of a recorder.
Yeah.
That would be great. And Louise, take note. And so myself and Alan went to the museum, and we had left it was 2:30 in the afternoon. We had left. We did a live. We left a fresh battery recorder and a REM pod in the top floor of the museum. We would love you guys to come with us. We would love, love new, fantastic teams coming into the museum with us, and we just, you know, do a little bit and then let you do your thing, and then we watch you, and hopefully, you know, you get what we get, or you get more than what we get, and then it would be great. But we're going to make an arrangement that you come up to our museum. Did I just say that out loud? Our museum. I'm going to have everyone mailing me now, giving out to me. You don't share. But we had left at 2:30 in the afternoon, did a live and yada, yada, yada. Anyway, the next day, Alan had rang me, or he'd sent me a piece of audio, and he goes, Jen, listen to this. I listened to it. It's literally about 2 minutes of a pure and utter fight going on, a battle going on, guns being loaded, cannons being set off, guns being shot and fired outside. This is where Oliver Cromwell would have attacked the Mad Tower. And you will hear footsteps, you will hear the REM pod gone off, you will hear a faint male's voice, you will hear talking, but you don't know what's being said. It's like looking at someone outside the window. You can hear them talking, but you don't know what they're saying. That all the activity was gone off, and yet only when the voices were heard or footsteps was made, the REM pod went off.
Okay, yeah.
So it's I wouldn't say it's, you know, 100%.
I like it as part of like that. I love to, you know, when the esteemed method as well. I remember one time it was like correlating with the REM pod, and then like I was saying like no, as in because Alan was trying to take me out, and I was like no, and next thing the REM pod went off at the same time. It's just kind of, it's part and parcel. I think it just kind of helps with the whole thing, as long as you have your main structures, your main, like you said, your camera and your recorder. I feel like if you have anything else, it's as long as it doesn't interfere with your camera and your recorder.
Right.
No.
I think at some point we should do, the two of our teams should do an EVP only show.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
An EVP only show, because I'm going through stuff in my mind about the museum where we were down, and myself and Alan were down in the kitchen, and I was asking, do you want to play a game of cards? And we were live, and Chris Moll could hear a male saying something. So we listened back to it, and I'm saying, I'm going to ask you one more time, do you want to have a game of cards with us? And you can hear this man saying, no. Oh, no, he was saying yes. God, I said the opposite.
Well, I love that one, don't you? Listen to it all the time. Yeah, I know. Yeah, that wasn't cool.
Yeah, I gave the opposite answer. No, he went to say yes. I was playing for you. That was actually funny. But it's lives. When we do lives and when we do Estes methods, look, myself and Louise did the Estes method one night in the Jim Gary's room. So we did it together. She was reverse and I was forward, and we were live on it. So when we listened back to the live, some of the answers from a male was coming through the live, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was coming through the live. You can hear him talking.
That's actually another thing as well I've noticed, is that sometimes through the electronics, they seem to interact. It's like, you know, if you're listening back to an EVP, you know, you did a quick little session and we're listening to it, and you have it on loudspeaker or something, you're saying, oh, turn off the lights or something, or hit off the door, and there's nothing during that.
Yeah.
But sometimes I find they nearly interact to what you were discussing, and then they'll do it. They'll do the lights, or they might do a door, or they'll do a tap then. And everyone's like, oh, what the hell? The lights just after going off. And like, you know,
that's a little pattern we've noticed. So just slightly different, but you know, when we could be calling out for 2 or 3 hours and nothing happens. But when we stop trying to communicate enough, we're chatting amongst each
I was
other.
about to say that, yeah.
Or like something
Yeah.
happens.
We're not giving it the spirit attention.
Yes.
Yeah.
Totally,
Yeah.
100%.
And
Yeah.
then things start happening.
Yeah.
Rightio. Yeah, that's it. There is a question here from beautiful Iron Fire Horse. I would love a full explanation, I can never say that bloody word, of what the SS method is. So anyone can go with that.
Basically, it's the spirit box. You put headphones on and a blindfold on. And you, as a team, you obviously, the person with the headphones on and the blindfold, they can't see or hear. So the as a team will ask questions in a different room, and you just call out whatever you hear coming through the spirit box, and see, does that connect to the questions the team are asking? Basically,
that's it. It's simple but very effective.
Yeah.
It's you know, I know
it's basically radio frequencies.
Yeah. And played in reverse. Played in reverse, and you can go AM or FM, and you can pick your speed. I know when myself and Louise did it together, we looked back in the live, and 1 or 2 answers we had given within seconds of each other, of the same answers. And Alan would write down the questions, and then the answers would be on the live, you know, when we watch back, look back at it. That's it, Aaron. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I'm just listening. It's like a radio that anyone listens to, but it's on really fast. It depends on the person that's listening, how fast they want to have it skipping, like fast forward. Yeah. So I actually find 50 or at 100, like the fastest one is better, because you don't want to be hearing the radio too much. Yeah. Although the lads we were with, was it Neil saw.
Neil McMenamin.
Yeah, he was saying to me he prefers AM.
Yeah.
So,
okay.
Yeah.
I like to kind of do a few minutes on each.
Okay. Yeah.
Because I never actually, it wasn't until that we did this in all the years of using Spirit Box, I'd never got anything but one night in Enniscorthy Castle. Who was Michael Benson.
Oh,
yeah. He had it was the old version, the Frank box, wasn't it? A Spirit Box. It was a Frank box. And
that makes it sound ancient.
Yeah. And we got a name David come through, and he asked for a surname, and immediately, we said, could you repeat your first name? And I said David again. And then we got Daly, and then Daly again when he asked to repeat it. And then he asked, where are you from? And we got Mitchellstown, which is actually Mitchellstown's in Cork. Yeah, it's in Cork.
Yeah. Wow.
In the Scottish Castle. So that was interesting.
Do you think that he followed you, or he just someone who lived?
We asked that, and again all went quiet. Never got. We don't know. But none of us knew David Daly, but it was just interesting. Yeah, it was interesting, and that was the only time up until we started doing the Estes that I'd ever got anything on.
What we love. Sorry, Louise, go ahead.
Oh no, I just want to say one other thing, just with the Estes method. I've noticed sometimes lately when I'm doing them, or when I'm watching back, I'm picking up on other people's spirits. I don't know how that happened. It's starting to happen a lot lately, and see, Alan, there was personal stuff that was happening with him, and I didn't I didn't know what was happening fully with the family stuff. And he'd tell me later, oh, it's my mom's anniversary, and you were saying, my mother's here, and I was like, what? And and it's her anniversary tomorrow, and you were saying about Sunday and all that, and that I was in the nursing home, and I was like, what? So I don't really get what's going on.
Sorry, Louise, that when we were doing the live that time, and that was a few weeks ago, and I remember, and I was calling out, and you were doing the Estes method, and I was standing up beside you, and the rest of the people were behind me, and you said something about Sunday, and I'm your mother, and in a home, and I just said, oh, that's my mother. Now my mother passed away in May. No, sorry, I laughed when I said that. No, I don't mean to laugh when I said that, but I'm thinking in my mind, like, it's weird that I could say, oh my God, is my mother trying to contact me, because I still haven't come to terms, she really isn't here. And I was like, oh my God, that's my mother. I said, that's my mother. She came back to haunt me. And Alan could resonate with the same thing as well on a Sunday, because I was born on a Sunday. I'm your mother. I was in a home. And then Anna was like, so Anna's thinking his thing and I'm thinking my thing. So he's saying it's his mom and I'm like, is it my mother? Is it you?
Yeah. But like there's been just other, there was that was the most recent one, but there has been other ones as well. It's just like that it could be with you or whatever. And I was just wondering, has that happened with you as well? Like maybe
not
even
that, not to be honest, no. But
okay.
No, it is interesting. It's something to take note of.
I tend to leave Matthew the headphones because I'd be afraid in case I think I hear a word and rather say what it is, but think what it is. So I tend to ask the questions, but it is my favorite to use.
Yeah.
I'm looking at my fire there because I'm getting cold.
It is interesting just when we were talking about different possibilities and stuff. But my dad a few years ago, he survived, thankfully, but he had a stroke and a brain aneurysm. And he made a full recovery, but he was in ICU for 4 or 5 months. And when he got out of that, he had to, the first time I heard him on the phone, his voice sounded just like an EVP. It didn't sound like him. It was a broken voice and very staticky. And I remember the hair on my, like, it literally stood up when I heard him speak. It was just like something, just like we got on EVPs. So I do wonder, is that why when you do die, you not have your voice that you would have had on Earth? Or is it like a break-up? Because it did just sound like an EVP. It was like a broken, staticky voice.
They say that we're like, energy, really. Energy that got us all, like we're atoms. Atoms are a form of energy and things like that. If you were to break everything down, sorry, the science end, but like, is that maybe part of our soul that when we, energy doesn't really die. That's what I'm trying to say. And that and that's where we're getting these EVPs that they sound statically, and I don't know.
Robotically and so on. There is
or even like if they're not staticky themselves, sometimes I've noticed just before an EVP, it sounds like the static jump. So So I did find that interesting.
And the audio that we played tonight of yours, Matthew and Tanya, that it was so clear, very clear. I mean, even Chantal could say what she thought she heard or what she heard, and then but did not see the writing on. So that's like a classic EVP.
Definitely.
I find when people are passing away, and I've read about it, I've seen videos of it, but I've never personally experienced it until May, and where my mum is talking to someone, and her hand's always reaching up and saying, "Oh, come on." It was mind blowing, and I'm like, I'm not studying you, mother, but I kind of am at the same time. I'm really sorry, but I am, because I'm not being horrible, but it is what it is, and I just fascinated by it, scared, nervous, hoping she's okay, not in pain, and interested as into like, I don't want this to happen, but holy shit, I'm watching this.
And it is but my dad doesn't remember anything. Literally, he woke up, it feels like he remembers coming upstairs, but he doesn't remember anything happening for 6 or 7 months. It was like he woke up, but one thing he said to us when he started talking on the phone, he said he was saying mother. Now my dad's adopted, and he doesn't know his family, doesn't know any family history. And my mum was saying, "Is it your mother, Tony?" And he said, he kind of shouted because his voice was broken. We couldn't really understand him. And he screamed, "My mum, no, it's your mother. She's here." Now he wouldn't have been that close to her, but he was actually the first person there when my mother's mum died. He was there when she died. So was she actually there? He said she's at the bed now. Or was that his way? Like, he doesn't remember saying that. Was it maybe his way of trying to comfort my mum? And I suppose he had a brain aneurysm, so everything, he was saying a lot of stuff that didn't make sense. So is it just that, or was she really there? I suppose we never know. But that's what he shouted down the phone. Your mother's at the bed.
It's phenomenal, isn't it? It's Kim. It's phenomenal. It's comforting, but it's scary it's comforting and it's scary at the same time.
And it's interesting, he's had a few, my dad wouldn't be a huge believer in the paranormal, but a few things that have happened.
Oh, that's
A few things that he has had, like he was asleep downstairs in the current house we live in, and a photo came flying off the wall. The photo went to a different side of the room, and it was a picture of my mum's mum. So, a few incidents have been between him and her, and they never really, like, to be honest, they never got on. So it's just interesting.
Oh,
Is she trying to wind him up, or? But he was there when he was the first person there when she died. So he was in the room when she. You know, have you ever heard what's it called, the death rattling when you're dying and the comes out? Everyone had left the room and he was there when he heard that sound, and she just passed away then. So
that just gives me
some connection. Is there some connection between them now? And he thought, he doesn't know was it a dream or not, but again he woke up on the sofa years ago and he said that she was looking, literally stood above him looking down onto him. So he's terrified of any mention of her. But
I was just gonna say, I think it's kind of comforting, isn't it?
Yeah, but my mom then hasn't had any like my mom.
Yeah,
it's my mother. She's never had any. She's never seen her. She's never felt her or anything. But it's always been my dad.
Oh wow,
that is another thing as well, that they, you know, like if we've kind of experienced death in some way, like a very, you know, like if you've been in a bad car crash, or, you know, like a near death experience as well, or just awakening, like maybe your dad is a bit closer to that kind of,
I suppose, he has been, like, they told us that he had like 2 or 3% of surviving, so he was literally on that level of like this, you know, so who knows.
Oh my goodness, I remember my sister hearing it, and they will never forget it. I'm glad I wasn't there to hear it. I'm so glad I wasn't there to hear it. I was there, and we were all in the room with my mum, and every time she put her hands up, all you can hear me is going, because I thought, this is going to happen in front of me. Like, oh my God, I talk the talk, and I'm like Billy Big Balls, but when it comes down to the grunt, no, just no.
And my mum as well, yeah.
Oh my goodness, it was just kind of like, I was scared, I was worried, I was upset. I couldn't take it. It was too much for any human to take in, to watch it. I think it's to take in. I genuinely do. I think no.
Well, it's so final, you know what I mean?
Oh,
you
it's
know,
hard.
For that, and then
I find it incredible people that can work, you know, like my mom, she works with people like with special needs, but you know, she's around deaths quite a lot. And I just find it, people, I suppose, that work in ICU, or like, how do they watch that every day? It's just incredible. Like, I would find that awful.
I would have worked in the medical units like that with people with special needs and things. But I would have been like Jenny now, going, please don't die on my watch. Please don't. And like that you'd hear the rattle, and, you know, and back a good few years, they wouldn't have had enough staff. Like, you might, you know, there's only me and one other for 20 of them, you know, and you used to be like, he'd be on his own in the room, and you just haven't connected up to the machine. And but no, but like that, the rattle, I used to be like, please. And they always said, if you just like, if you start turning people as well when they're about to die, that's actually a way of promoting the death to come on quicker. So just be prepared if anyone is passing, you know, when they're changing and turning people, that can pass very quick. Yeah. Then anyway,
that's emotion. It's a little too raw now. It's a little too raw.
Yes. I don't like talking about it myself. But no, I like the thought that if when people say that they see loved ones there, that's I find very comforting. You know, that they have people there surrounding them, and people that hopefully they liked and things like that. And it's going to be, you know, I think that's kind of nice.
My mum called me her dad. And I loved Granddad. It was my mum's dad. He was a lovely man, black Beetle, you know, the black Volkswagen Beetle, and, you know, tall, skinny, slender man in a suit. That sounds really bad, like the Slender Man. Gum, little children. But
you're like, it's Jenny.
There's one thing I want to ask you as well. One of my favorite things as well. I am crazy about this stuff. Is the ITC, with mobile phone to mobile phone. Now we do that, and I have to say it's my favorite. I'm laughing at her and fire laughing at me. But we do that, and I remember we were in the museum many years ago, and I said, "Oh, I've got an idea. Why don't we use our mobile phones and put them on speaker and put them in a different part of the building and put the recorder beside it?" Little did I know that that's out donkey's years before I was even probably born. But I thought Jenny made this up. No, I didn't really. I did at the time thinking, like, I got an idea. Why is everyone copying me? But when I did a show with Anthony Kerrigan, and I had people mailing me, goes, "Jenny, what do you do? How do you do it?" And everyone's doing it, not because I did it, but, you know,
yeah,
I wouldn't have seen it being done. I just thought it was a great idea that Jenny had, and like copyrighted, and, you know, charge everyone who uses it, but really it was out before me. But we did it, and I have to say, it is phenomenal. Even when I was on Spook to Ireland, just plugging that in there now, when I was in Spook to Ireland in Lepcastle, we had played that part of it, of the ITC in Lepcastle. And it's one of my favorite things to do is the ITC. I mean, it could be like 4 o'clock in the morning, everyone's tired, and I'm like, no, put the phones into the rooms, and let's just do one 10-minute session of an ITC. Have you done it?
We have done it. I don't know how we're doing it wrong. We've asked like people that have done it before, but whenever we seem to do it, to me it sounds like when you play back the audio, it's kind of almost, I don't know, we putting it too close to the phone, but it sounds like it's bouncing off.
Keep it apart. Yeah.
It just doesn't. I don't know. It just doesn't sound. I just don't find it. It doesn't sound natural to me. It doesn't. So I prefer just. Yeah.
It can be very robotic.
Yeah, so we have done it, but I don't think we've ever had any success with it, to be honest.
Yeah.
It worked very well the time we were in Lepcastle. So like that, we had a few people, like public wise as well. And we left, I left a little recorder like that, kind of near the phone, but just a little bit away.
Yeah.
And so that was out in the conservatory part. And then we were up in the banquet room, because the sound can travel a little bit. So it's just good to kind of have it out of the way. So like that, you'd hear like little, what sounded like tapping. And we were going, Jesus, we're getting nothing really. Just like,
yeah.
Do you know, that was it. And then anyway, so Jenny went down to have a cup of tea. Jenny pressed play, and lo and behold, you start hearing some, hello, da-da-da. And we're all like, what the fuck? You know, you could hear him then, no bother, on the recorder. But it's funny because through the phone, we weren't hearing anything. And Jenny's like, okay, is there anyone there? Do you know, nothing. But yes. So again, I was wondering, you know, that's what I was saying earlier. I was wondering, you know, with technology, sometimes do they hear that clearer?
Yeah.
Through a speaker, the electronics, than more so our voices. And you know, the way like we hear them through a recorder from an EV, you know, EVPs. So is it the same maybe to them if it breaking through?
Yeah. I find it fascinating too. Do you know, there's a guy that works with Tanya that would be very skeptical. He's a sound engineer.
Mm-hmm.
Oh wow.
And he'd be very skeptical about, well, he doesn't believe in it. And one of the points he said, which I thought was a great point, he asked me the question, and I was like, oh shit, what do I say to this? It was, you know, the EVPs, we can't hear them at the time. With like, we can't hear the voices. It's only when we play back the audio that it seems to be picked up. I've always thought that's probably because the audio picks up a higher frequency. He said, how come when you play it back on the audio, you can now hear it? Even if it's on a different frequency being said, how come you can hear the frequency on the audio? So I wasn't too sure what to say back to that. But it was a very good question.
I hate being spooked, and I hate being, you know, when I think I know what I know, now I have to go back to the drawing board and go, now I have to like find out why that happened.
Is it because it's electronic, you know, that way?
That's what I would guess. That's what I would guess. But it is interesting, because why can you hear it through that? Because it would still be on the same frequency.
Well, in fairness, now we do have it usually blaring up too. You know what I mean? Like
yeah.
Like, wait there a second, you know, to hear it back. But yeah,
and I suppose animals again, like they have much better hearing, don't they? So like that's what they say about dogs and cats.
That's it. I remember doing with Jeremy York from Things Network. He was saying use the dog whistle. So when you blow the dog whistle, because their hearing is a lot, you know, it's more sensitive than ours. Then I remember being in Enniscorthy, and I did this with Jeremy York, Robin Ramsey, and John Griffin from U&I Research. So we were on video call together, and so on and so on. And you know, we were doing the dog whistle. So we would turn like, you know, full circle, blowing the dog whistle, full circle, blowing, going around, dog whistle, for the higher frequencies and so on. So then I remember John Griffin talking on video, and I still have this on audio in my files. And I remember John saying, about electricity, traveling, water, sounds, and so on and so on and so on. And then on my side, you could hear this fabulous, very clear male saying phenomenon, like so clear, so clear. And I remember doing an EVP show one night, and I think Aidan was on the show with us as well. And when people have the tones, and all I could hear was phenomenon. That's it. That's one word, phenomenon. And then he goes, I hear someone's gone down the shop now to get us to put him back. And so he could hear like 10 words and like phenomenon. Yeah. And I'm like, look at him like the Exorcist, and I'm like, what? Because I'm very crazy when it comes to audio.
Did you say that was an Enniscorthy, Jenny?
That was an Enniscorthy, yeah. That was an Enniscorthy. Yes, in Athenaeum Museum. And then he goes, I'm hearing Mocker, because Aidan's from Belfast, the north, and he had a 5-word sentence, and I'm like, Aidan, if you're watching this, I'm really sorry, but I've said it to your face already. I'm like, when you just know it's one word, phenomenon.
Yeah.
That's it. It means amazing. It means like crazy what you're doing. Like you're doing a call out, because they call out in America to Ireland, and I've called out in Ireland over to America, and I've had the audio recorder playing here, and the responses is freaking crazy. Yeah. It's I just get into crazy stuff, but that whole kind of like going to ITC and going across from seas, oceans, and countries, it's fantastic. And I've called out in different locations in Gaelic where they used to have Irish servants. That was with Robin Ramsey in, Jesus, bless me if I don't know the name of it. It wasn't the Hinsdale House. It was, sorry, I'll get the name of it, but it's a very well-known house that I forget the name of. I will find it. Which one?
The Sally House?
No, not that one. No, it's a different one. It's it's like a castle, but it's not a castle. Yeah. Oh, for crying out loud, I forget the name of it.
I know of the one you're on about. I just don't know the name, but I know where you're.
Castle, that's the one. I knew it'd come to me. I was about to text him. Wilson Castle.
No.
Fabulous place. Thank you so much, Anthony. Thank you so much. Wilson Castle, and so we have done call outs from there to here and there, and it's brilliant to do it, because just because you're not in the same country doesn't mean that they cannot hear your voice.
Yeah.
And that's a great way of investigation. And like I've said this for a long time, I would absolutely love to do this. And I know I've said it before, and someone else is going to say, we're going to do it first, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, whatever. You heard it on my show first. That I would love to do the 3 Hellfire clubs on the same night at the same time with questions.
Well, that would be cool. Yeah, that would be cool.
So Ireland, England, and Wales is the other one, or is it Scotland? It's Wales, isn't it?
It's the way it was in Limerick as well. What is that now? Can you go into it, or
as far as I know, that's on. I remember looking into it. There's a castle there as well, and it's kind of on a island in the river. That's what I know. It's kind of off.
I know it. Yeah, I know it. You cannot
or something. I think. I think you can, but I'm not sure they turn in. I remember they were restoring the castle.
Can you go to the island? I don't think you can go on it anymore. You can boat around it, but you cannot go onto it because it's
something like that. I don't think you can access it, but it would be cool.
And that was the original one, isn't it?
That I know of anyway.
Right.
Yeah.
Yep.
Holidays.
Listen, 2024, go bleep yourselves. 2025, let's kind of bring it on for fun. Like we're going to Cork, we're going to feed giraffes, we're going to
Scooby-Doo. We didn't do it this year, so
no, we didn't. And I think next year is a year of doing things. Even if we're scared of doing it, we're going to be doing it. Even if you don't want to do it, you're going to do it. 1 or 2 more questions before we go. What would be the one piece of equipment you would not use?
Cat balls. I gave up on them.
Yeah.
Me. Let me think. I probably would be the cat balls as well. They drive me crazy.
Definitely.
I mean, they're cool when they light up, you know, but
Yeah.
You know what? When you put them in the front of your car and you see a blue red light sign, you know, cars will move out of your way.
It's very funny, actually. Do you know
Very
that we were talking
funny.
about correlations earlier? Eric, the manager, he's actually since joined our group, but we lost one of the cat balls in that office.
Right.
I'm going to embarrass him now. The office has a toilet, and he said he was sat down on the toilet on his phone. And he said that one of the cat balls, this was a few days later, one of the cat balls, the one we'd lost, it had fallen behind the sink and it lit up. And he thought it was your man, and he just turned off the toilet.
hands around the ankles.
And the Iron Bird is asking, why do you call them cat balls? Because they are literally toys for cats. They are toys for cats. They're cheap and cheerful, and they're toys for cats. That's it.
They literally light up like when you touch them.
Sensor lights.
Yeah.
You'd have to turn the button on, and then any vibration will set them off, and that's why they're called cat balls and cheap and cheerful. And I remember I was saying to someone about, God, people are paying stupid money for equipment. Like the Boo Bear. God, if anyone has the Boo Bear, I am really sorry if anyone has the Boo Bear, but I'm thinking, no, why are you spending the money on a Boo? No, I know one of you have a Boo Bear, don't you?
I do.
I do like the concept of it, though. If I could make one myself, it'd be great.
Yeah, because you can literally just stick a cage through the test.
Yeah.
That's exactly what I was about to say, and I said,
I just think, look, to be honest, I bought a few bits like that for the public events, as they just look cool.
Yeah.
That's exactly what I was going to say. A bear, put a hole and REM pod up his behind, and there you go, you're done.
Blue Bear.
Yeah.
You'll be loving it the next time you see this Blue Bear now. Jenny be like, how much did you get that for? Yeah.
But it's cute. It's cute. It's a cute.
It looks cool. Like so.
Maybe the kids might like it. The way it's a little trigger thing.
No, you have a Blue Bear with a K2 or a REM pod beside it, and it's half the well, I know you have to pay for the REM pod and the K2 and all that stuff, but just know. But
we say that often too about you can get audio recorders that are just like audio recorders, but if you go on to like one of these paranormal sites, they literally stick ghost recorder on it, and that makes the price go up like €20 more.
I go into beautiful secondhand stores, buy my toys in there for the children, and teddy bears, and I get everything in it. If I'm going to get toys, I will get a few balls, but I would get, and I remember now that I think about it, I don't know where these are. Actually, now I forget where they are, but they're square, soft toys, square with pictures on each side of it with a little bell on the inside.
Okay.
I would have them say in one of the museums, and a recorder beside it, a video on it, and so on and so on. So if it cannot roll,
that's
the one. Yeah, that's the one, Tanya. And it's just material, and it's lovely, and it's soft, and there's little bells inside it. And I was going to get more not cat balls, but cat, those little cat bells.
Yeah.
And put them into it, so it can be a little bit more noisier because there's only one bell in it, and there was two.
I do think too, probably old-fashioned like toys. They actually like if you're from 100 years ago and you go and touch a ball and it lights up, you're probably never going to touch it again. Like
right, that's it. Like wooden toys or and that's a good thing about cameras as well. I remember we were in the museum in the kitchen, myself and Aidan were setting up, those wooden boards, and you have these little handles and you put these shapes of animals into it. And me and Aidan seen this, we'd set up and we came back down and I was like, oh my God, an animal was put into place. How did that happen? Oh my God. And the beauty of setting up your cameras before you put the rest of your stuff down was because I had put one in forgetting that I had put one in. So that saved many hours and false excitement, and I told you it was paranormal, and it just saved us. And yes, I could cry and kick myself after it, but it was saved a lot of hours on going through stuff that we didn't have to go through. So I think now, let me see what else. Now, let me say that we're almost coming to the end of the show. We are coming to the end of the show. Let me see. Sorry, Lulu, I'm going through your questions here. Okay, this is a good one actually now with Lulu. Sorry, Lulu, I'm taking one of your questions. Very good.
We work away. You finish up, yeah.
Out of curiosity, how have you and your team find the general Irish perception of the paranormal?
That's a good one.
Louise was working today and I was sleeping.
Yeah, I think that's an interesting one. You would think Ireland would be quite open to it, and I suppose like we had a group over from Germany, and they said that there's like
okay, know them, yeah.
There's no way that you'll get into any locations there. So I think we are a little more open to it. But I do find most people I think are quite skeptical of it. I don't think it's, but I think we are more open because of legends and stuff. But
right,
yeah, I'm actually not too sure, to be honest. It's a good question.
But like I work with a lot of bouncers, big tough guys, and a lot of them do believe, and they'll be always asking me about it. And then you get some guys, oh, I don't believe in that. But like, when all the rest of the lads have gone away, Tanya, what did you find? Tanya, what happened? Tanya, have you any pictures? Yeah. They're curious. So I think there's a fear that they don't want to like. I don't know.
Interest in it.
Right.
Yeah. But there's curiosity there for sure.
I think people are afraid to admit that they like it, as well, because they might feel like, oh, it's silly, that kind of way. So yeah. I think the Catholic, the church as well in Ireland kind of took over, and in one way, I think a lot of people have don't be talking about that stuff now. That's enough, that kind of way. That's
some people are like seen as believing, kind of. If I can't see it, I don't believe it. But like that. But I believe in God.
Yeah,
that's my whole freaking religion thing.
We're finishing up now.
Louise knows.
I have to put it in there for you.
I know.
Yeah, Louise knows. They mentioned religion and paranormal. It's like, and my ears pricked up.
They're gone. I know they froze.
Who said religion and paranormal? Who said religion and paranormal? That's my trigger. That's my trigger.
I suppose too, the one thing about we were saying about like religion, like my mom, she's 50 something.
Don't tell your mom's age.
Yeah, but she remembers like the Madeleine Laundries and St. Kevin's when they were open. It's that recent, so there will be there's still a lot of a generation that would be very religious, and they probably wouldn't be as open to it as maybe some people would be nowadays.
Here we go now.
Oh shit.
56. Hey Jackie.
Oh, she's young, for crying out loud. Well,
There'll be murder later.
Don't cry.
Hi, Jackie. Another question here, Louise. Do you want to go with it, or should I just run with it? This question here. There's a few more left. What keeps you coming back and being involved in the paranormal?
For me, I just like it. I don't have any. I enjoy the investigations. I think getting to see all these cool places, and like we've been doing it for 11 years now, coming up to 11 years, and places just keep popping up, and you think you would know everything about everywhere at this stage, but places keep popping up, and I'm more interested probably in the history than the paranormal. The paranormal is just like a bonus to me, to be honest.
100%.
Yeah, I just enjoy it. That's basically why.
What about yourself?
I just have so many questions that need answering. I want to know more. Again, for myself, I just enjoy the travel, amazing places. And not everyone gets to stay in, castles, hospital asylums. It's amazing.
100%. That's a great answer. Yeah, that's a great answer, and it's a different lifestyle, and it's a conversation starter. Like I've been on a bus in Dublin on the Lewis, and I've been talking to someone, and I'm like talking about paranormal. This woman, and lovely woman, and I'd say she was in her 60s or 70s, and we talked about paranormal. She goes, I love the paranormal, and I'm like, well, you don't meet someone like me every day, let's talk paranormal. So I would talk to the arse of a donkey now if it's if it was got to do paranormal or animals or anything like that. Okay, so any good advice you would give to someone wanting to get into the paranormal?
I would say, I think because I was so young when I got involved, since it was like something to do with my family, like I was like only 14 or 15. So I wouldn't have got into any group anyway, So I think for me, I would advise do your own thing rather than join and as a group. I would say go out and see if you actually enjoy it. I've often met people that they watch Ghost Adventures and they go out and do 1 or 2 investigations, and they spend hundreds a year on all
Be
the
patient.
Yeah, they spend hundreds a year on all the equipment, and they're fed up with it within a few months.
Right.
So I would say just go out with someone family, and
Trust.
safety
with numbers as well.
Yeah, and just see how you get on, and just stick at it really, because it does take a lot of patience, a lot of.
Right. TV has a lot to answer for. It's not what you see in TV. You don't get 45 minutes of what they get on TV. It's safety, it's locations, the people you're with, doing it mentally right, and being respectful of locations.
Yes.
And the owners of locations.
Yeah. And it is a great hobby. You get to meet lots of interesting people. You get to see a lot of places, so it is a great hobby. So I would definitely, if you're interested, just go and do it, or try and join a group, or go on a public event and see what you think of it.
I think a public event would probably be the best way to see for yourself.
Yeah, probably just different that way, because I never, as I said, I was too young to go on any at this time, and I was never really into paranormal shows. It was just simply from exploring myself that I got interested. So I'd probably be different to how a lot of people got into it.
I think you're right. You just need to have an interest, at least in history or like that, wanting to really discover, get that adrenaline rush to keep going, and if you want to discover stuff, and you need to have something, a drive.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Right, a passion, and I stand by what I say. Not all history is written in books. We have gotten things from locations that people have that's not written in books.
Yeah.
And I love that we don't hop from location to location and just do a location one time. We're doing the museum 9 years. We're doing Leap Castle 6 years. We're doing Redwood Castle 5 years. I love that we repetitively go back to these locations, because when you walk in, it's like, hi, it's like you're home. Like you're going into a place that you know well. And now when I go to Millmet Museum, I used to go there as a child, and school tours. I live 5 minutes away from it. It's beautifully hometown, and very proud of it. With Leap Castle, when I drive into it now, it's not like, oh my God, it's kind of like, I'm back, I remember Sean saying to me, are you moving in here? Maybe. And then Redwood Castle, I love Redwood Castle. I feel very comfortable in it, and so on. And it's repetitively going to these locations. And I don't mind going to locations one time only. We get that. We do it sometimes. We do. But I love going to our roots where we know, and so on. Matthew and Tanya, where would your root location be? Where you feel that this is your baby, this is your place?
If I'd probably go. I never actually got anything there, but I'm just going to say a strange one. It's called Ballincollig Castle, and it's the first place. It's just a small ruined tower on the outskirts of the city. It's the first place that we ever went as a group. It was the first place we ever did an investigation, and there's just something about that. Or there's a castle called Ballincollig. It's the first place we ever got something. So I'd go for one of those two. Just a connection to those two.
Yeah, that's your place. What about you, Tanya?
Might probably say Dan's, the asylum. That's our cove, because I spent we spent so much time down in the convent, Mercy. So we say Dan's or Cove. And we spent date nights up in St. Anne's.
Yeah.
Oh, you see, that's
date night St. Anne's, and then back for a dirty kebab.
Dirty.
I love it. We got dirty. We were in our dirty. I want a dirty pizza. Dirty pizza. But that's romance. That alone. Don't go for it, dinner. Is there a castle involved? Yes. Is it a big 5-star hotel? No. Is it in ruins? Does it have There's a ton of them ghosts. And you ever find when you go to a hotel, it's a castle hotel, it's just not the same anymore. Like Cabra Castle. Oh God, Cabra Castle, a fabulous place to go to. Liz is saying,
just us.
She was just saying something about.
She was saying something about Liz or something.
That's really weird, isn't it? I don't think she even touched anything.
No, probably.
I'll keep going because I don't know. It's weird because like this is her stream, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
So unless she has to like get us all gone, I don't know. Right. Okay. I'll just keep going because I don't know if she's going to make it back on. It's just the second last one. So is there anywhere on your paranormal? Oh, here she comes back.
I will.
I'm like, we're still going, like, because you're the mainstream.
I knew when we talked about religion tonight, it always happens in my house. I should have said it before it happened. Sorry, bone, like, you know.
You didn't even touch anything, I don't think.
No, but every time we talk about religion, it takes some time. That I swear to you, it happens. Every time we talk about religion, something happens in my house.
Well, I knew you weren't fully gone because we were still here, so I was like, she has to be making it back some stage.
I was surprised you didn't hear me going bleep, bleep. What the bleep? Where the bleep? Oh, my bleep.
I was just moving on. I was just going to ask the last few questions, and I was like, oh, no, that's I was just, here, you work away, girl.
I'm doing my lips. Go on ahead. Go on.
Oh, here, right. What's is there anywhere on your paranormal bucket list you would love to go and investigate? Now, this could be even somewhere where you have
the Ram's Inn.
Oh, the Ram's Inn,
It's Ram's Inn and the Sally House in America.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Me. I would say, I'm not sure I don't have anywhere particular on my list, but just probably countries that I'd like to go to. I suppose that famous the castle, Dracula's castle in Romania. I can't think the name of it. I think there's a place in I think it's Venice, an asylum kind of off on an island.
I know it. I so know it.
I think places like that.
It wouldn't be. There was one place I know when I went to Italy for a wedding many years ago, before I even got involved in the paranormal, and the wedding was in a mountain, in the mountains in Florence, and the place where the people were staying was in this beautiful monks monastery.
My parents went there, I think.
Oh, really?
I think they did, yeah. I think that's the
right
place.
And the boulders in the room where people slept in, because I stayed in Florence, in the town, in one of the streets, and I didn't want to do touristy. I wanted to stay in a nice kind of local area. And then we drove all the way up into the mountains of Florence, this beautiful, huge monks monastery. And the monks monastery is across the road. You just cross the road, and there was the wedding venue, and so on and so on.
Yeah.
Out of the monks monastery. Now, when I went into the room where I would have slept about 20 people in it, and these huge boulders, like these pillars of stone, and you know, and I'm in that room on my own, and the ceilings were so high up you could echo. And I remember my friend saying, Jenny, I woke up and I thought someone was standing over me, but I was like, oh, you'd be grand. But if only I knew then what I knew now. I was in that place and I did not take advantage of it. I remember going to the bathroom and the ceiling was so high, the tiles were so wide, and it was just Italy.
Yeah.
Just breathtaking. And I sat on the wall. I have pictures of me sitting on the wall with my dress, having a glass of wine, standing outside in the middle of the night and just breathing in Italian air and just taking a moment to myself. And I think fabulous.
I've been there, but I think Skellig Michael's, that's very cool. The island out in Killarney, I've been there, but to actually investigate it would be unreal. And I think the Tower of London, just because of the history.
Yeah, that's fabulous.
Yeah.
Never would happen, but it would be cool to do.
You actually let people in as well, you know.
No.
That's where I think we were there last year, but we went in it. We didn't even queue for it because it was just too busy, and it was coming at the end of time. And then we got the boat off the Thames, and we wanted the top deck with a beer, but we ended up in the bottom deck because there was too many at the top deck with kids screaming. I'm like, these are not the pictures I wanted to take. Kids, I'd be crying. But
there's a place in Cork called Charles Fort. That's kind of a famous haunted place.
Yeah.
It's OPW down. They don't allow investigations, but that's
Yeah.
kind of the only place now we haven't done in Cork.
OPW.
I always
it's the only place we've done. So
We're always giving out about them all the time.
yeah.
I'm going to get a job in the OPW next year. I'm going to get a job in the
Yeah,
OPW.
just let us all in.
I'm going to get a skeleton key.
Yeah.
For every location in Ireland. That's said. Sorry, go ahead, my love. Go ahead.
I was just going to say the one other place I would love to do actually would be, Dublin, the castle in Dublin.
Yeah.
That is meant to be haunted.
Dublin
That would
Castle.
be, yeah.
I think I remember one. I think it was Tina did a block of that a few years ago. But that would be cool.
The old Kilmainham
jail,
hospital, the jail, but
yeah.
the hospital now it's an art venue as well. You can rent it out though, but I'd say it's a couple of thousand. But
not if you get about 2 groups and a few people.
It looks huge, and it was
they're sleeping down there for dancing and make it cheap.
Oh, I've seen a few. Yeah, you could rent. We've all had a few bob now, a few castles.
It can be done. There's a few locations that we will definitely be going into next year. And I've seen a lot of people doing these fantastic. Now, there's a group from the north of Ireland, and they're a young group. And they are going to these locations, these abandoned locations. Some you can get into, some you cannot get into, some you shouldn't go into, some you're not allowed to go into, but they manage to get into them. And holy God, these places are phenomenal looking. I mean, it's nice to watch them on TikTok. Would I like to go into it? Absolutely, yeah. But I'm trying to make contact with them to, hey guys, and they're even in a location where I used to go to the cinema as a child and draw it out. I'm like, excuse me, how are you in my town in this location that I can't even get into when I used to go to it when I was about 8 years of age, and you're sitting in an office in a location in town in Drogheda?
Yeah, there's a group. I think it's probably the same guys.
I was thinking about them.
They actually got into Cork prison, which is still an active prison.
That's the one. That's them.
They got into a block of it. I think they're being
investigated now.
They're going to be charged for that, I imagine. But they broke into an active prison.
Broke in. Yeah.
I broke into an active prison.
Yeah. Like, I suppose one block of it is an active, but the rest of it is.
Yeah.
No, that's so
it's an army barracks.
Yeah, as well as an army barracks.
It's an army barracks, prison, funny. And then just like a wing off it.
Yeah.
And they broke into it.
That's proper fun. That's like,
incredible.
Don't listen to us. What would we know? I remember someone said to me last night, and I was too tired, and I was doing work at the computer and whatnot, and she's in her 20s or something like that, and she was saying she wanted to get into Hopi, Chica Mamacita. That's my chihuahua. I know, I just said Chica Mamacita, not knowing that I'm on air.
That's what
you're talking
about. Spain.
And she was saying, Chica Mamacita, and she was saying to me, I know you're older in the field. Come again? What? What did you say? Some girl I was talking to in America last night, and she's in her 20s, and lovely girl, I'm sure she is. But when she was being obnoxious with somebody else, and then she, and talking about people that I know, and so on and so on, and then she goes, just very bad person, and I'm like, today is not the day, I'm not the one. And then she goes, I know you have experience because you're older in the field.
Of all words.
Yeah, she just said you're longer in the field.
What did you say?
You've been around the block.
What did you say? I'm older in the field. I said I'm in the field about 18 years. I have a lot of experience. Please don't step on the wrong people because it doesn't. It's hard in the field alone as it is.
Yeah.
And she goes, I know you're older, and you're in the field longer.
Jeez.
Excuse me, what did you say? Please don't say that. We're not doing that. So I just kind of, say kind of like take it easy on the age thing. Let's not do that. Take it easy. I'll be haunting you before you know it. Take it easy on the age thing. Take it easy. Anyway, apart from that, right. Where can people find you guys? I have your link and everything up, but where can people find you?
Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and the new year we're gonna try do a lot more on YouTube. So or just Cork Supernatural Society on all of them, but we're on all of them. So yeah. And
when are you back out on location?
We have a new place actually, very cool one. I won't say where yet, but it's in Cove, so a new place in Cove on the 18th of January. And
great.
We'll probably have something before now and then, but that's the next definite one.
Yeah.
So yeah, we're looking forward to it.
What are you doing between now and 2025 apart from frickin' audio work and video that we all have to do? We have 2025.
We don't have any plans, but we'll see what happens.
We make plans.
Yeah, we'll see what happens.
And of course, you're coming down to us.
We are. We cannot wait. I am sitting like it's like Christmas. I love you, but come on, let's get into the new year where January and then February, and then we are down there, and I'll be sitting in the car, and Louise would probably gag me or give me a Xanax or a sleeping tablet saying, Jenny, shut the bleep up. And I'd be we're going to a convent. Yay.
You're the only one excited about it. All the rest of them in there to be like, what?
I swear to you.
I mean, spirits wise, to be like this one.
Yeah, we have
Jenny trying to get out, and Jenny's like, let me in. Anyway,
my teacher used to be nun, so I love nun. And I love, chica mamacitas. I love nun.
Can you record that? Jenny said she loves nuns.
No,
we have that on repeat.
No. I like it's Cork Supernatural Society. I will put the link up, Iron Fire, after the show. I will put the link up.
We've already started on it now, so there's not much on it, but
Facebook will be our best as we know.
Yeah.
I will get all of those links up. I know I have your Facebook link up, but I will get the YouTube link up as well, and I put it freshly onto my Emerald Isle page as well. You're very welcome. We loved you guys being on tonight. We love you, basically. Just
love you too.
It was brilliant. We loved it. It was. I was excited about tonight's show, and excited about the audio. And listen, guys and girls, we are doing an EVP show.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, Matthew will be like, 24 hours into looking over like 5 times. EVP. We are going to get them up. We'll do that in the new year. We will definitely do that in the new year. But I want to say thank you so much for being on tonight with us. A million thanks.
Tanya, you did well. You did great.
The first time?
You did fantastic.
You did. I didn't shadow whisper them.
Thank you.
Now, Tanya will be taking bookings. You have to go through Matthew to put Tanya in now. So, the new year. Anyone who watched, liked, shared, thank you so much. Commented, ask your questions, and thank you so much. Louise, thank you for buying our Christmas hats for Saturday night. We are going to go live. And our Christmas hats, Santa hats.
Oh, yeah.
My dog, thank you for contributing with your snoring. Iron Fire, thank you so much. It was in the middle of the week, so what else to do? Let's confuse the days, Christmas days, even more by thinking it's Saturday, but it's really only Wednesday, so we've just made your week a little longer. Sorry. But we will be back on Saturday night. We will be out on an investigation in the museum in the Millmount. In the museum. Oh my gosh.
What museum? Millmount.
Yeah.
Enjoy that one, guys.
Millmount Museum, Drogheda. We're going to go live. We're going to be wearing Santa hats, and we're going to have a little Christmas party for the children and so on. So it's going to be a little bit of a different one.
Yeah. Spirit children.
Yeah.
Not actual children.
No, we're not taking children with us. No. Thank you so much, Iron Fire. Thank you so much. And that is it. And then we have Secret Santa as well. So we will probably do a live of pulling out the presents that no one knows who or what. But, you know, we're going to see the happiness and disgust in some of our faces. I know mine's good. So we'll see. Anyway, saying that now, we are going to, I'm a one-woman show here and I'm trying to bring us here. So I'm going to bring into the background Matthew and Tanya. If you want to stay there for a second after we come off here, please do so. Stay there with us. We're going to bring us in the background and play the outro, and we will see everyone on Saturday night. Good night.
Thank you.
Good night.
Bye.
Good night.